the net, blocked down in front, rebound, scores! Evan Oakley, here's Farmer on a breakaway, Farmer scores! Short-handed break, Benzine in on Zevnik, oh, and a great left pad save there, shot deflected, they score! Cullen stops short-handed!
You're listening to Wildcats Hockey, presented by Armored Roofing on the Wildcats Broadcast Network.
A very good evening to you from high above the ice level at K. Yeager Coliseum. It is time for Wildcats Hockey, presented by Armored Roofing. A very good evening to you. Thanks for making us part of your Friday evening plans. I am Ben Horner with you, very excited to be bringing you what is sure to be another great edition of Wildcats Hockey. As tonight, the Wildcats welcome the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees for the first of two games between these two sides this weekend. The first meeting of 8 between these two squads scheduled for the 2014-15 regular season, and the Wildcats had a winning record against Rio Grande Valley last year. 4-3-1 against the Killer Bees were the Cats last season, and the Killer Bees first season in the South Division, although it should be noted that Rio really played a tough game down the stretch and were one of the more difficult teams to beat at the end of last season. But a new season brings new challenges for all teams, and that includes the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. Rio is 7-8-4. They are sitting in 6th place in the South Division, 2-4-4 in their last 10 games, as they have been at the end. They are at the end of a 9-game road swing. This is a tired Rio team. This is a worn-out Rio team, but this is also a banged-up and angry Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees squad. And last weekend, they were swept on the road by the Lone Star Brahmas, a pair of one-goal defeats, which has been a theme for the Bees this year. More on that in just a second. But suffice it to say that Rio is very hungry for a couple of points here tonight. On the other side of the ice, the Wildcats enter tonight sitting in second place, sole possession of second place in the South Division, with a record of 13-4-0 and 26 points to their credit thus far. They own the best winning percentage in the North American Hockey League, followed closely behind by the Lone Star Brahmas, and have won 5 straight and 7 of their last 8 games dating back farther. It all adds up to the Wildcats being one of the hottest, if not the hottest team in the North American Hockey League right now, and they'll look to keep that going here on home ice. And this is a building that has been very friendly to the Cats thus far this year. 9-2-0 here at the KYC in 2014-15, with the only blemishes on that record, a loss to Odessa on opening night and a loss to the Brahmas back on October the 5th. Since then, the Cats have not been beaten here at home, although they know that they are going to have a big task in front of them here tonight, as Rio Grande Valley is a team that will play you close, will play a tight checking game, and the Cats are going to have to be ready for it, that's for sure. I had a chance to catch up with Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine before the game and get his thoughts about the upcoming weekend of action. Here's what he had to say. Ben Horner here, and joining me now is Wildcats head coach John LaFontaine as the Wildcats prepare for a 2-game series against the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. The first time the Cats have seen the Killer Bees this year, and as Rio enters this contest, they are actually wrapping up a 9-game road swing here through the early stages of this season. John, what can we expect from a Killer Bees squad that currently sits in 6th place in the division?
Well, we watching them on film, Ben. They're strong defensively. They've got good defensemen that are mobile, that have the ability to make plays. It looks like they're wanting to make quick plays. They want to move the puck up the ice quick. And it seems like everybody they've played, except with the exception of Lone Star last weekend, and they played them very tough. They've managed, it seems, to just usually split the weekend. They find a way to come back and beat some good teams on a weekend. So it's somebody that if we take lightly, we're gonna struggle with. If we respect them and understand that everybody is getting better, the teams that don't have the record they don't like, they're probably working harder and probably harder than we are, and that's why teams are starting to play tough. And I just talked about before the interview. A lot of one-goal games. The teams that haven't been winning as much are that much better. So every night's going to be a battle.
9 one-goal games of the 19 games that the Killer Bees have played this year. And here's the thing that's really working in Rio's favor right now, John. Yes, they have a 7-8-4 record, but if you look at their head-to-head in division, they're 6-5-4 within the South Division, and that's really given them a boost in the division standings. And as they kind of fluctuate up and down the standings,
it doesn't necessarily give a good indication of what kind of play you're going to get from them week in and week out.
No, and like you said, that's with a pretty tough road swing here of nine road games, and they don't have an easy trip anywhere except for the Corpus. So it's a team that could easily be above 500 right now, and with a tough schedule, and we've seen that you can't take any of the teams lightly, and if you don't respect them, you're going to struggle.
Last year, this was a Killer Bees squad that relied on tight checking, good solid defense. They would get up early on you and then really lock things up through the middle of the ice and make it very difficult to get any sort of offensive transition game going, any sort of extended time in the offensive zone. Film study and from what you've seen this year, what style of play might Cats fans be able to expect from this Rio squad?
Well, they don't want the puck in their end, Ben. They're really quick to get rid of it, to get it out. They won't try to possess it coming out of their end. If they don't have it, they'll rim it quick to get the puck out, and because they don't want it in their end. But they want to play offense. They want to play a more up-tempo style compared to last year. We studied them a little bit last year, and when they would win, it was 2-1 or 1-0. They didn't score a lot of goals, but they were tough to play against. And I think their coach is strong. Joe Combs is a really, really strong coach. He had some championship teams at Dubuque. He knew he needed to get some more upgrade his skill and have the ability to be able to have more offense. And they do. You can see that they have some players that have some skill and can make plays. I think they got some younger players that are still adjusting, and those younger players are now getting better. So they're going to be tough. It's tough from here on out to play against. So it'll be a really good challenge for us this weekend.
Heading into the weekend for the Wildcats, John, what lessons do you take from that topsy-turvy affair on Tuesday? 5-4 win against the Jackalopes in a shootout, but the Wildcats certainly didn't have an easy time of it out in Odessa.
No, we didn't play very good defense. When the puck was in our end, it stayed in our end, Ben. We didn't play very strong on the puck, and we didn't play very strong staying with our man when they didn't have the puck. So they got a lot of quality shots and could have easily won that hockey game. They had the lead late and should have won it probably. So we were fortunate, and we were trying to instill that in our guys that, the trend can't be that we're just barely squeaking and not playing strong defense. They're going to be close games, but we can't give the other team as many grade A's and as many shots as we've done the last couple games.
Talked about it, finding ways to win. I'm sure Coach LaFontaine would prefer that the Wildcats just come out and play the strongest they can every game in and game out. And it goes back to that theme of respecting their opposition. We'll see if they can do that here tonight and indeed over the 2-game set this weekend. John, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Ben.
You heard Coach LaFontaine talking about it there. He is wanting to see his team pay more respect to each of their opposition. We've seen it happen a couple of times over the last few weeks where the Wildcats have put themselves behind the 8 ball just a little bit by maybe not being the most focused or the most open-minded about their opponents, as the Wildcats will look to take over control of this game from the opening puck drop, as now we'll move into the starting lineups brought to you by Pelican's Restaurant, and we'll start with the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. On the left wing, it'll be number 25, Stathis Sumulidis. Sumulidis, 6'2", 210 pounds. He's played in 7 games for the Killer Bees. He has 4 goals and an assist for 5 points. He hails from Prague, Czech Republic. Centering the starting line will be Dean Balsamo, number 9. The 95 birth year stands at 5'10", 180 pounds. Balsamo has 10 points on the year on 3 goals and 7 assists and hails from Sterling Heights, Michigan. On the right wing, it's Kyle Stefan, 6'2", 180 pounds. Number 14, Stefan, has played in 19 games for Rio thus far. That is all of their games. He has 14 points on 6 goals and 8 assists. On the blue line, Evan Bell will be on the left side, 5'11", 185 pounds for the 1997 birth year. Bell has 2 assists in 18 games played and hails from Livonia, Michigan. He's a 1997 birth year. Pairing with him will be Adem Arifi, a name that'll sound familiar from recent action for the Wildcats, as he was recently acquired from the Amarillo Bulls. Arifi playing in his first game for Rio Grande Valley here tonight. 6'2", 200 pounds, a 1995 birth year, hailing out of Niles, Illinois. And starting in net, the second-year Killer Bee, Nick Schmidt, number 31, 6 foot, 185 pounds. The 1994 birth year is in his last year of juniors and is from Fargo, North Dakota. His numbers on the year, 3-5-1, with a 3.89 goals against average and an 8.82 save percentage. Head coach of the Killer Bees is Joe Coombs. Assistants are Josh Brown and Brad Lutch. Now for the starting lineups for your Wichita Falls Wildcats. Again, we'll start up top and on the left side. It'll be Kevin Sherazin wearing number 28, 5'10", 165 pounds out of Jameson, Pennsylvania. The future Air Force Academy commit has 16 points in 16 games played on a team-high 11 goals and 5 assists. Centering the starting line will be Nick Farmer, 6 foot, 185 pounds, out of Colbert, Washington, 5 goals and 8 assists. He has 4 points in his last 2 games. The 1994 birth year has 13 points on the year. On the right wing will be Austin Albrecht, number 27, 6 foot, 185 pounds, out of Flemington, New Jersey. Had an assist in Tuesday's win over the Jackalopes. He has 6 points in 13 games played on the year. On the blue line, it'll be Matt Cook on the left side, 13 points in 17 games played for the 6'1", 200-pound Matt Cook. At Hastings, Minnesota, Cam Knight will be the starting man on the right side of the blue line. 190 pounds, the North Reading, Massachusetts native, recently signed his NLI to attend the University of Alabama Huntsville next year. And starting in net, David Zevnik, 5'11", 160 pounds, out of Lakeville, Minnesota. Pelicans. Wildcats Broadcast Network. Hey, Yeager Coliseum, we are just about set for Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing. Hello, good evening to you. Ben Horner with you here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. A happy Friday to you wherever you happen to be joining us from. Reminder, you just heard the starting lineups, and those are brought to you by Pelicans Restaurant. Located at 2301 Midwestern Parkway across from Midwestern State University, Pelicans Restaurant offers Texoma the choicest beef, freshest fish, and the area's best wine list. Next time you're in the Falls and in the mood for fine dining and a great atmosphere, be sure to stop by our friends at Pelicans Restaurant just across from Midwestern State University. David Zevnik gets the start for the Wildcats tonight. He is in the net to my right. Wildcats wearing their home white sweaters, skating from P to Q across your keyboard. That is right to left across your screen. Nick Schmidt in the cage to my left. He will start for Rio Grande Valley here this evening. Schmidt, a 94 birth year. Last weekend, he made 32 saves on 35 shots and a 3-2 loss on Saturday. And he'll be looking to pick up his 4th win of the year here this evening. And the Wildcats will be hoping to send him to defeat number 6. Killer Bees wearing their road black sweaters with the teal shoulder plates and the honeycomb pattern in the numberings, as it will be Dean Balsamo to go against Nick Farmer to get things going. In the opening faceoff, Eric Krasichuk will bring the centermen together. Both goaltenders are ready, and we are ready to go here, and the puck is down. We're underway in the first period, brought to you by American Classified, as controlling it off the draw here are the Killer Bees. Adem Arifi, first touch for him in a Killer Bee sweater, and it's taken away. Now it's Albrecht at the circle, feeds it towards the middle, and a good active stick there by Bell to knock it away from Farmer. It's moved up the wall and will be brought forward by Zumalitis. Zumalitis at the left wing side, trying to play a pass through the middle. His shot blocked there. Picking it up on the far side was Kyle Stefan. Chipped it too far for everybody, so Farmer has it, gives to Sherazin, and gives right back to Farmer. Here's Farmer. His shot blockered away there nicely by Nick Schmidt. It comes away to the near side wall. Stashed down low. Trying to get there first is Nick Farmer. He's at the end of his shift, putting on a cursory forecheck, and now will work his way back to the bench for a change as Jake Townsend corrals in the neutral zone. Chips softly up the wall. Staub will sweep it around the kick plate there. Schmidt steps out of his blue paint to play this one. Cleared all the way down. Townsend will take at his own blue line and work it quickly up ahead to Staub. Staub banks it off the far side wall. Bola, you can't reach this one ahead. Waylon Williams. Here's Townsend with a big slap shot. Schmidt makes the save. Puck is loose. Staub spins it in front. There was nobody home. And now the Bees might have a 3-on-2 if they hustle up. Racing it ahead. Here's Kyle Stefan. Rather, this is Waylon Williams. Puck is towards the net. Knocked down. And at the blue line, the Bees will control. Good bump along the near side half wall. Here's Konstantin Chernyuk. Played up towards the blue line, held in by the Bees. Chips softly down low. First to this one here will be Parker Wood. Wood couldn't corral this one. Coming along to support was Anthony Croston. Croston will play this one off to the far side corner. Parker Wood shoulders Townsend out of the way. Played towards the front of the net, and Chernyuk got just enough of his stick in the way to keep that one from being a grade A chance. Wildcats are able to force it into the neutral zone. Now they'll start a change. They'll have to hustle back in here as Townsend is under some pressure. Spins away from the forechecker Logan Wendling and looks to move it ahead. He'll sling it cross ice. Oakley gave a chip at it there and winds up out of play in the Killer Bees bench. So we'll get our first whistle of the night. 18:06 remaining in the first period. Scoreless here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. As waiting our first grade A scoring chance of the evening. The Wildcats, winners of 5 straight, looking to make it 6 straight here tonight. That would equal their longest win streak of the season last year. They've already posted 1 5-game win streak here this year. Oakley off the faceoff wins this one forward. Looking to come along and help out. Here was Nikita Litviak. He'll chip this one off the glass. An awkward Karam takes it towards the cage. Picking it up was a Demarifi, and he'll look to motor ahead. Cleared only as far as Kuzmeski at the red line. Kuzmeski chips this one farther along. Trying to fight through a check here was Litviak. Instead, Skatliff kicks a loose puck along to Litviak. Trying to gain the zone here is Yeager. Yeager putting a man under pressure. That was a Reefy. He'll spin it around to the near side and Andrew Green. Rather, that was Connor Wood. Wood reverses it back behind. He'll get it back and look to start the rush for Rio Grande Valley. Over the red line, he'll chip in deep and come to the bench for a change as Zevnik steps away from his crease and puts the brakes on this one. Kuzmeski picks it up and will look to move it forward. At the red line, here's Kuzmeski. He'll dipsy-doodle back to the near side and dump this one in deep as the Wildcats will work on a change. Waylon Williams first on the puck here for the Bees. Now it's Baker, ramped up ahead, looking to bring it forward in a 2-on-2 play. Here is Bennett, chipped towards the corner. First of this one here will be Christopher Deprez. Behind the cage with it, works off to the far side wall. J.B. Baker first to this one. Baker wheeling towards the middle, wanting it as Williams. Instead, it's backdoor. Near side half wall, reverse down low. First to this one here is Alex Falconer. He'll move it along softly to Cam Knight, who gets it up ahead to Matt Cook. Skittered away from his stick here, now in the neutral zone. Karam's in towards Matt Cook, and he'll sweep it along to Cam Knight, who will give right back to Cook. Cook walking up the middle of the ice. Chips softly to the near side. Subri couldn't reach this one first, as now he and Reisinger will try to play it deep. In the neutral zone, Cook has, and will fling it into the far side corner and come to the bench for a change. 3.5 played here from the KYC. Sent out in front. Sherzin pulls the trigger, and he sent it wide as Schmidt had gotten himself out of position. Albrecht trying to reverse behind the net for Sherzin. It's at the goal line. This one cleared off the glass and will skip down. No icing here, as now it's a foot race. First of this one here are the Killer Bees. Behind the net with it was Kyle Stefan. Looks to stash in front, looking for Dean Balsamo. Balsamo ridden off it nicely here by Falconer. And this one is worked along to Townsend. Townsend, his outlet pass was blocked. He'll get it right back and play it softly ahead. Sherzin couldn't reach. Now Farmer holds his own. Here is Farmer. Down for Sherzin. Sherzin couldn't pull the trigger on a skipping puck in front of the goal line, and this one cleared out of play off the stick of Evan Bell, number 2 on the Killer Bees. 15:49 remaining in the first period, and we get a whistle here at the KYC. No score between the two teams. Sherzin with a decent look for the Wildcats there, but he couldn't settle the bouncing puck and get a good look on the cage of Nick Schmidt, who, according to the big board here, has made 3 saves. Faceoff will be to his right. APAP will take it. Tommy enjoying a good start to his first year at the junior level. Won that faceoff cleanly to the near side. Cook left it there. APAP came back for it, but then lost out. Here's Parker Wood, looking to motor it forward. He got it up to a teammate. That was Anthony Croston. He'll play this one in deep. Sevnik leaves it behind there for Cam Knight and retreats to the safety of his cage. Knight behind the cage of Zevnik. Looking for somewhere to go with it. In front of the net is Andrew Green, taking away that route, so he'll play it off to the near side for Matt Cook. Cook, his outlet pass, He flung it up ahead of everyone. That's corralled in the skates of Trevor Abbott here as we hit 15 minutes remaining in the first period. Waylon Williams skates from right to left. He'll get to the red line. He'll try to play in deep. Knight will glove this one down. Retreat a little bit here, and now cut up ice in the middle. Knight with a nice skate here. He'll take it off to the right side. Now play this one in deep. No icing after he gained the red line. Smart play by Cam as the Wildcats are in the midst of a change. Motoring back and now motoring forward. Here's Trevor Abbott. Head full of steam. Back off to the near side. Logan Wendling, his shot goes high and wide. Might have been deflected. Yes, it was. So the faceoff will stay down low for Rio Grande Valley. 14:50 remaining in the first period. 0-0 the score here from the KYC as David Zevnik makes his first save of the evening on that one. Zevnik on the year, 4-3-0 with a .274 goals against average and a .903 save percentage. False start on the draw. I'll do it again. Zevnik has won 3 straight, however. Put in a lot of real hard work as this is back towards the point, wide of the cage, skipping around there. There was nobody on the near side to slam that one home back door. Yeager fans on the pass. Now he's ridden off it, hustling off to the far side with Scatliff, and he'll work the puck in deep. Didn't get all the way down low, so first to this one here are the Killer Bees, and looking to bring forward, here's Rob Click. Bouncing around, and we're going to get a whistle here. As they say, that one went out of play into the Killer Bees bench area. So the Cats will get an offensive zone faceoff. 14:29 remaining in the first period here at the KYC on Hockey Heals Hunger Night. We partnered with the Wichita Falls Area Food Bank this November in collecting canned goods, non-perishable food items, all going to support local Texas communities, especially North Texas, a 12-county radius here, and all that will stay here to fight hunger in our communities. Very happy with the response we've gotten from the community. Townsend towards the net. That shot was blocked. Now it's a foot race. Could be a 2-on-0. Racing back down. Here's J.B. Baker towards the front of the net, and it's knocked away there by Zevnik. Reisinger picks it up. Now he'll hustle forward. Reisinger, he's stood up there at the blue line and lost possession of the puck. As back to grab this one is Zach Bennett. Bennett played it forward. Now this one chipped in deep. Zevnik out of his cage there as Rio will start up a change. Up the ice, Reisinger had some trouble with it here, but this will wind up in a delayed offside either way. 13:58 remaining in the first period here from the KYC as we are still scoreless and not too much flow to this one thus far. Keep an eye on the first goal as always. I mean, I say this every game, and I do mean every game, but it still does hold true. The Wildcats are 10-1-0 when scoring first and 5-0-0 when leading after one period of play. Around in front, Zevnik alertly sweeps it away from the blue paint on his right-hand side. This one served back towards the corner, but floats well up out of play, and they'll put this one in the neutral zone. The linesman disagreed. Samick said it was going to stay down low. Richetel said it was going to come into the neutral ice, and the referee Krasnichuk agrees with Richetel, so the face-off will be in front of the Wildcats bench area between the blue lines. 13:48 remaining in the first period. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Reminder, Wildcats hockey is, as always, presented by Armored Roofing, as off the face-off, Scatliff back to Kosmeski. Trying to hustle onto a bouncing puck in the neutral zone. He did, couldn't corral it cleanly, as this is Rob Click in his own zone. Click, up ahead to Stefan, I should say. Now it's Scatliff, back off to the near side for Kosmeski, softly ahead to Farmer. Farmer and Falconer have some trouble working it out of the zone, as this is still not cleared. Now Scatliff with some trouble in front, here's Wood, and making the save was Zevnik. Scatliff turned it over after Farmer and Falconer Farmer and Albrecht couldn't work it out of the defensive zone. So the Wildcats need to do a little bit of a better job taking care of that disc in their own D zone. 13:19 remaining in the first, as Zevnik has his first real chance against on the night. We'll say this for Scatliff. He did a good job recovering to disrupt that shot just enough. Penalty upcoming here, and it's going to be against the Wildcats, I believe, as this is worked up to the point, and finally touching up here is Staub. So we'll get our first penalty of the game. It'll be a hooking call up against the wall. Don't see too many of those. And it looks like it's going to be the veteran Colin Staub who will get the 2 minutes. No, maybe not. Well, hang on a second. I'm wrong all the way around. It's going to be Anthony Crossan who gets the penalty. So the Wildcats will be the one heading to the power play. So how about that? First penalty of the game will go to Rio Grande Valley. Hooking call to number 21, Anthony Crossan, with 13:11 remaining in the first. And the Wildcats will head to a power play that's clicking at 21.3% on the year. Good for 6th in the league. power play goal against Odessa on Tuesday. In fact, they've had a power play goal in 6 straight games, as right off the faceoff, cleared all the way down. Knight will go back to retreat, and will look to set things up on the man advantage. Near side in Austin Beaulieu. He'll try to gain the blue line. He'll chip for it. And wasn't able to get that one in deep, so this one into the neutral zone where Knight will glove this one down. Knight will gallop through center ice. Here's Knight holding his shot blocked and goes away to the corner. He'll go to retrieve himself and take it to the far side wall. APAP over to support, now skating down low. Served up to the near side, and Beaulieu now to Knight, middle of the blue line. Here's Knight. Nice little pass along to Albrecht here. Albrecht, his pass back door was intercepted and sent all the way down the ice by Dallas Sherrads. 12:25 remaining in the first. 1:10 remaining in the Wildcats power play as Anthony Croston sits for 2 minutes. It was a hooking infraction as Matt Cook gives it off to Litviak near side. Litviak gains a zone. Plays it off the back wall. To the far side it goes. Sherazin tries to hold on. He does, but it popped up into the air, only as far as Cook at the blue line. Cook, backdoor. Litviak shot, and he missed the net. Rather, that was Sherazin pulling the trigger. Cook once more at the blue line. Now to Yeager. Yeager under some pressure here, wanting to go back to the point. Instead goes down low for Farmer. Farmer can't spin it along to Yeager here. Now he's tied up. A two-side battle will develop with 40 seconds remaining in the power play. Yeager to Cook at the blue line. Cook towards the net, wide of the cage. Flopping around there was Schmidt as Sherazin gets and gives to Litviak. Litviak looking to skate down low. Outside the circle. Litviak still in the circle. Gives down low. Trying to get it back from Yeager was Litviak, but is sent all the way down the ice as Yeager couldn't click on the pass. Out of his cage to leave this one here for Matt Cook in the last 15 seconds of the penalty to Anthony Croston. Okay puck movement on the first man advantage of the night by the Wildcats, but nothing doing in terms of grade A looks. I don't think they've gotten a shot on goal yet either. Cook, in the last few ticks of the man advantage, gives it up to Reisinger. We're back to 5-on-5. Reisinger's shot easily sticked away into the back glass. Reisinger still with it as we're back to even strength. Reisinger pressed awkwardly into the boards as Falconer tries to get involved as well. Instead, it's a Demarifi, rather Evan Bell, working to clear it out. It's up to Anthony Croston, fresh from the sin bin, and he'll skate forward. Tries to get around Townsend, and does. Croston in front. Puck is loose there, and we'll get the whistle after Zevnik got run over. He'll roll back to his knees and look to get back to his feet. He looks okay. That was an awkward collision for all involved. 10:49 remaining in the first period. A scoreless first here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. And this is, thus far, right in line with the Killer Bees' MO. Tight checking game. Very cagey affair through the first minutes of this contest. They're going to put the face-off out in the neutral zone. As they say, it was Anthony Croston who knocked that net off its moorings. Zevnik looks to be okay. It wasn't a particularly intense collision by any stretch of the imagination. It certainly was completely unintentional. APAP will take the draw. Going against Andrew Green. They tie up. Now it's Scatliff looking to gain the red line and chip. Instead, he'll serve it to the near side. Beaulieu couldn't win this one. Beaulieu with a good puck fight here. He'll fight through a Demarifi's check as this is going to be a penalty against, it's going to be a penalty against Beaulieu here as it's going to be a hooking on Austin Beaulieu. He got turned around there by a Demarifi and got his stick caught up in the midsection. So the Wildcats, they're 0 for 1 on the power play, and now they'll be shorthanded for the first time this evening on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill as Rio's power play will go to work. Killer Bees 20%, rather 13.8%, 20th in the league on the man advantage this year. That's 11 for 80. Off the face-off, back to the point. Waylon Williams, his shot, save, rebound, is knocked away to the corner there as canceled out with Stefan by a good active stick from APAP. Held in by Bell. He'll give it down low. Balsamo now at the goal line, back up. Here is Bell. Slap shot wide of the cage. Rebound, lively Karam. Waylon Williams holds on it. Shot from a bad angle is blocked by Knight and cleared all the way down. 10-10 remaining in the first period. 30 remaining on the penalty to Austin Beaulieu. 2 minutes for hooking as the Wildcats are on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. Cook with a good bump there to drill his man down to the ice. Saab trying to battle with Balsamo to clear this one out. Worked up to the near side. Nice keep there by Stefan down low. And here is Zumalitis. Zumalitis to Balsamo. Balsamo outside the circle, looking to skate towards the goal line. Puck is loose in the faceoff circle, cleared only as far as Abbott at the blue line. Balsamo again, back to Abbott at the point. Abbott towards the middle. His shot was deflected and went up and got the back glass as Knight clears this one all the way down just past the outstretched glove of Trevor Abbott. 9:30 remaining in the first. 55 seconds remaining in the penalty to Beaulieu as we still skate scoreless here at the KYC. Here's Connor Wood, rather Parker Wood. Wood tries to chip past Kosmeski. Nice stick there by Kosmeski to disrupt things. Cleared, not out. It's chipped down low. First of this one here is Townsend. Shields off his man. Parker Wood is now Kosmeski. Clears, not out. Bouncing puck is in the neutral zone, and Oakley will look to bring it forward, shorthanded. Oakley, his shot save. Rebound is dangerous. Kosmeski decided not to challenge it, and instead gets back into a good defensive position for the last 23 seconds of the penalty kill. Parker Wood looks to bring it forward. He got the red line, and someone got to stick to it here. Townsend hammers this one off the boards and all the way down as there is 10 seconds remaining in the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. 8:40 remaining in the first. Out of the box in a few seconds is Austin Beaulieu as gaining the zone. Here's Logan Wendling through the middle. Connor Wood, this swept out only as far as Kevin Clare at the blue line. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey, but the Bees still pressing here as this is Austin Beaulieu taking it off the backhand pass from Cam Knight. Pass to the middle, trying for Albrecht there. Albrecht looking to hustle up and beat the icing. He does. Written hard into the wall there. He'll stand up and keep playing going as off the far side, it's Gerards. Gerards for Rio. Chips it forward. Trying to get past Nikita Litviak was Christopher DePrez. Behind the cage with it are the Wildcats. Matt Cook under some pressure here. Wendling gloves this down, bouncing forward, and Litviak will corral. He'll look to skate 1-on-2. Nice inside out move. He'll take it to the outside and put on the brakes. Now he's walled off it. Legal play there by Kevin Clare. Nice defensive work as we're in the last 8 minutes of play. Oh, and a big hit. Oakley looked like he took him from the side, but we're going to get a penalty here and some extras as a result. 7:49 remaining in the first. As Krasnichuk was right on top of it. What will the call be? It will be Oakley. So the Cats will be shorthanded once more. They're going to give him a boarding. And for me, that looked like that was a clean shoulder check. But Krasnichuk right on top of it to make the call. Looking down, Coach LaFontaine is not happy with that one either. Numbers were not showing when Oakley made contact, so by rule, it really should not be boarding. But Krasnichuk has made the call, and the Wildcats are going to have to deal with it. So they've just killed off one. They'll have to kill off a second on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. 7:49 remaining in the first period here from the KYC. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Thanks for making us a part of your Friday evening. Off the face-off, won by the Bees. Waylon Williams holds on a shot, gives it over to Trevor Abbott in the middle. Here's a backhander, and it's sticked aside there by Zevnik. To the far side, it's up to the blue line. Williams wants it. Abbott gives it to him. Williams stops of the circle. He'll spin away from the check of Falconer. Williams shot blocked. Following up, he'll kick it to the corner. Waylon Williams getting worked over here by Cook. Hard pass up to the middle of the blue line. Abbott shot wide of the cage. Zevnik was reaching all the way and was not going to get that one. A.J. Green looking to go up to the half wall. Waylon Williams has it. Falconer putting him under some pressure. Croston now outside, now top of the circle. His shot blocked, and Zevnik will cover up the bouncing puck after it was off the leg of Matt Cook. 7:12 remaining in the first period. A minute 23 remaining in the minor to Evan Oakley on a borderline boarding call, and that has the Wildcats on the penalty kill for the second time tonight, and the second time in the last 2 to 3 minutes here. Farmer will take the draw short-handed. He's out there with Kosmeski, Skatliff, and Colin Staub. Skatliff getting some PK time here this evening. Washed out of the draw is Balsamo, so Zumalitis will step in to take it. Zumalitis, clean win. Look out, here's a shot, and a score! Rob Click loaded a shot from the left side. It might have been tipped, rather that was Kyle Stefan. So the Wildcats get burned as they couldn't kill off that second penalty. And it's 1-0 Bees. See how the Wildcats can respond here. They fell behind in Tuesday's contest as well. Off the face-off. This is in the neutral zones. Goal is number 14, Kyle Stefan on the year. That is goal number 7 on the season. As here is Chernyuk in his own zone playing along to Townsend. Here is Townsend back to the near side. Chernyuk through the middle. His pass along to Austin Beaulieu. Beaulieu, his shot saved and knocked aside there by Nick Schmidt. Up to the point in Townsend. Townsend chips this one towards the corner. Abbott. His pass behind the net, intercepted by Staub, then he's boarded, no checkup coming. Here's Beaulieu's shot, and he sent it wide of the cage from just in front. Here is Staub, leaving it behind here. It's APAP behind the net as well. APAP looking to stash out in front. Nobody there. Beaulieu has it. Penalty upcoming here to Rio as Krasnichuk will make the makeup call after he blatantly missed a boarding. So, on a little stick work there, Krasnichuk will blow the whistle on a hooking call. Soft one, but probably a makeup for missing that boarding 30 seconds before. 6:17 remaining in the first, and Krasnichuk getting a little whistle happy here in the first period. We'll have our fourth power play in the last 5-6 minutes of this contest as the Wildcats will look to even this one up. 0 for 1 on the power play tonight are the Cats. The goal is Kyle Steffens from Stathis Sumalitis. It was a clean win, and no one got out to the point to challenge Kyle Steffen, as the faceoff will be to the left of Schmidt. Wildcats are able to hold the zone. Shot towards the near side as down low was Oakley, but he wasn't able to grab this one. Held in by Townsend at the point. He'll hold on a slap shot. Now it's Falconer, top of the circle. Falconer gives it to Townsend, middle of the blue line. Handcuffed him towards the net, bouncing around there, and Schmidt will swallow up the rebound after Oakley got a tip. 6 minutes even remaining in the first period. Cats trailing 1-0. Yet to really test Nick Schmidt. And they need to get him a little bit uncomfortable in the early stages of this contest. Otherwise, he's going to settle into a groove. And Nick Schmidt is a guy who, when he gets rolling, will stay rolling. Last year, he had 6 shutouts for the Killer Bees. A lot of them coming in a short span. Nice win by the Cats off the faceoff. Townsend wheels back to the middle of the blue line. Shot towards the net as trying to clear out is J.B. Baker, and he does. Farmer, in front of his own bench, will look to bring it up the ice. Farmer chips it past one. It goes towards the corner. Abbott will look to hammer this one around the boards. It's intercepted here. Farmer chips it along to a teammate. That's Falconer over there. Worked quickly along to Reisinger. Townsend, one-timer saved, knocked up into the air. Bouncing puck in front, and it's knocked away towards the corner and picked up first there by the Killer Bees. Off to the far side. This is cleared all the way down the ice. 5 remaining in the Wildcats power play. Sitting in the box is Dallas Sherrods. Townsend behind the cage of Zebnik looking to set this one up. He'll give it along to Albrecht. Albrecht gets to the red line and chips it in deep. He takes a bump as the Wildcats go on in pursuit. Beaulieu looks to hold this one. Unable to hold it in at the point was Cam Knight, and the Cats have to chase once more. Back to grab. He'll leave it there for Cam Knight to motor forward in the last 5 minutes of this first period here at the KYC. Here is Cam Knight. He'll get to the red line, wrap this one hard around the boards as it works to the near side. Albrecht trying to win this battle and does. Now he'll tie up in the corner, trying to work it free as Staub. In there as well is Tommy Apap. 4:40 remaining in the first period. 20 seconds remaining in the Wildcats power play. Nothing doing thus far. Cam Knight towards the middle. Still Knight with it. Shot towards the net. Wide of the cage. Here's Staub to Beaulieu. Top of the left circle. Beaulieu holding on it. Down low for Staub. Staub spinning out in front. Puck loose. Cleared only as far as Knight. Bouncing puck. Settled by Cam. To Beaulieu now. Beaulieu holds on a back door. Down low for Staub. In front they score! Beautiful power play goal. It's Austin Albrecht tying it up, and we are deadlocked 1-1. Great puck movement there on the man advantage by the Wildcats. It was Beaulieu going down low for Staub. A blind backhand pass to Albrecht in the right face-off dot, and a wide open cage for him to shoot it into, and we are even up again. Beaulieu and Staub continue to work well together, whether it's on the power play or at even strength. That's the first goal of the game for the Wildcats, brought to you by Whataburger, as we're right back to play here, ticking down towards 4 minutes remaining in the first. They'll battle for it to his side behind the cage of Nick Schmidt. Litviak trying to pull it loose. Yeager is in there as well as Oakley goes towards the front of the cage. To his side battle still develops. Trying to work it free here is Litviak. Getting worked over hard here. Hauled down to the ice. Bodies tumbling everywhere. Finally picking it up is a Damarifi, and he'll bring it forward. Face off. Rather, it's played down low. First to it here is J.B. Baker. He's tied up nicely here by Chernyuk. Baker fights through the check and works it up to the near side, but Oakley was there. Skating onto this one here is Townsend through the middle for Litviak. Litviak, his shot a little bit wide of the cage, as this one is to the near side and cleared down. Will this go for icing? It will, as Skatliff hustles back. No, it will not, as they say it was deflected. Skatliff under some pressure here. Oh, turned it over to the near side. Wood in front of the net. Loading a shot is blocked there. Skatliff recovered and got a body in the way. Waylon Williams. He'll give it down to the near side. Wanting it here is Connor Wood. Kosmeski shields him off. Bouncing puck is towards the net, and Zevnik will cover. 3:03 remaining in the first period. 1-1 the score after Austin Albrecht's fourth goal of the year has us tied up from Colin. They have it from Colin Staub and Tommy Apap. I am all but certain that should be Colin Staub and Austin Beaulieu. Either way, for Staub, that's point number 15 on the year on assist number 11. For Albrecht, that is goal number 4 on the year and point number 7. And here's the other thing for Albrecht. He's really pouring it on in the last little bit. All of his points now have come in the last 7+ games, now 7 games in almost a period, as he has started to adjust to life in the North American Hockey League. Takes some players a little bit longer than others. As we are in immediate timeout here, 3:03 remaining in the first period. 1-1 the score. Kyle Steffen scored for Rio Grande Valley on the power play. Austin Albrecht scored on the power play for the Cats. And that's now a power play goal in 7 straight for Wichita Falls. And when you consider that the power play was pretty abysmal throughout all of September, they went 3 for September basically. 3 for 25 in that month. They've been very, very solid. In fact, over the last few games, not counting tonight, well, I'll get you that number in just a second. Shot, puck is loose, it's still loose, they score! They were chasing it the whole way. No one found the puck, no one took the man off it, and the Wildcats trail once more. I think it's Steffen with his second goal of the game. Someone's got to play defense on that guy. Zemnik was lunging around. Skater walked towards the net and scored on the backhand. So the Wildcats, who Coach Fontaine said did not play well in their defensive zone against Odessa, really are not playing well in their defensive zone here tonight. Bouncing puck is loose in the neutral zone now. Farmer hacking at it, and it's cleared. Settling and giving it up to Farmer was Albrecht. Here's Farmer with a step. Has Sherazin in front for Sherazin! He thought it was in. The net was off its moorings. No goal is the call on a 2-on-0. Somehow Schmidt did enough to keep that puck out. 2:38 remaining in the first. 2-1 the score for Rio Grande Valley. Farmer got the step, played it in front for Sherazin, and Schmidt made the save. As finish up that point, the Wildcats need to be better in their own defensive zone, and moreover, they need to be hungrier off the faceoff. Both of the Rio Grande Valley goals came directly from the faceoff because the Wildcats were not fighting through to get to the loose puck. We saw that burn the Wildcats against Corpus Christi when they lost 7-4. It's burning them thus far tonight as Bennett races it forward right off the draw through the blue paint. There was nobody there as Cook had his man tied up. Back towards the front of the net. Knight will kick this one down. Chipped up the ice looking for Albrecht, but it's sent back in by Rio Grande Valley in the last 2:20 of the first period. Knight back behind his own cage. He'll look to start it up ahead. Has his head up, pass through the middle of the ice, is corralled nicely here by Apap. Kicked along, has Sherazin in front. Apap for Sherazin, and he wasn't able to get a shot away. One-handed up the near side wall by Rio Grande Valley. Stop trying to hold the zone. It's loose in the neutral ice as here's Konstantin Chernyuk tucking it back just in front of the Wildcats bench area. Played in deep by Rio Grande Valley. First of this one here is Connor Wood on the near side. Rolls softly along the kick plane at the base of the boards as Townsend plays this one off to the far side. Hustling to hold it in is Kevin Clare. Clare sends it right back whence it came. It's behind the cage. Tucked towards the front of the net. It's loose in there, and it's cleared out by Farmer, but he's under some pressure here. Unable to grab it are the Wildcats. Konstantin Chernyuk having some trouble with it. Off to the far side, behind the cage with it, here's Girard. Girard still with it. On his backhand, waits for some help in front. As he was waiting for Stefan, it doesn't come, as now here's Colin Staub. Staub gains his own. Beaulieu picks up the puck as Staub goes to the net. Here's Beaulieu holding on it. A trailing play, as this is up to the neutral zone for Turk Skatliff. Skatliff spikes it back down low. Upended there in the slot was Beaulieu. He'll get back to his feet and try and hold possession as Jaeger gets involved in the near side. Stefan given a bump there as by Skatliff as we're in the last minute of play, brought to you by La Quinta Inns and Suites. Litviak trying to settle a bouncing puck and play it towards the middle. Here's Oakley. Oakley with his shot. That's off a leg and goes out of play as they'll keep the face-off down low. 49.1 seconds remaining in the first period. 2-1 the score in favor of Rio Grande Valley as they have scored a power play goal and an even strength goal. Kyle Stefan has both of them tonight. That second one coming from Dean Balsamo, straight from the face-off, as I had mentioned. Face-off to the right of Schmidt, won by the Wildcats. Kosmeski towards the net and sticked away there by Schmidt. Oakley tucks it in front there. He was looking for Litviak in front of the net, and it went up to Skatliff at the point instead. Skatliff has some pressure in his face, but he'll chip down low through it all, as this is behind the cage for Trevor Abbott. Abbott to the near side. Kosmeski held it, but it went out of play into the Rio bench area, so we'll get a whistle and a face-off upcoming. 30.6 seconds remaining in the first. Say this for Turk Skatliff tonight. There's been a couple instances where he's put himself in a little bit of trouble, but he's done very well to recover in those instances and missed the danger either with a shot block or canceling out a good chance in front with some good stick work. As here's Oakley trying to walk towards the front of the net with the face-off, but it's taken there by Waylon Williams. Wildcats can't hold his own as now Oakley gets at this one. He'll chip it in as Jaeger tries to win this battle. Oakley towards the net, blocked down in front. Skatliff, nice kick there by Kosmeski to hold his own, but he has to retreat in the last 10 seconds of the period. Offside here as Crossan dove down to the ice trying to keep his back skate pegged to the blue line, but he wasn't able to do so. We'll get a whistle, 9.9 seconds remaining in the first. Cats trailing 2-1, and I'll say this, Rio Grande Valley has only finished the first period with a lead 2 times this year. Looks like it's going to be number 3 here tonight. It's because the Wildcats have not been hungry enough off the face-off. Towards the cage of Zebnik, right off the draw from the neutral zone. He'll easily knock this one aside as Cook has it, and he'll just let the last few seconds tick away, and we'll get the horn for the opening 20 minutes of play. Wildcats trailing 2-1 through the first 20 minutes here at the KYC. They have not trailed in the first period too often this evening, or too often this season, I should say, as on the year, the Wildcats are 10-1-0 when scoring the first goal, as I mentioned in the open. Let's get their number when they are trailing after one period of play. Trailing after one, the Wildcats are 3-2-0. We'll have to see what the next 40 minutes have in store. Either way, shots on goal in that period were 8-8, according to Point Streak, but Rio leads 2-1. When we come back, we'll have the out-of-town scoreboard, and we'll also revisit the Wildcats' 5-4 win over the Odessa Jackalopes from Tuesday morning/afternoon. All that and more ahead on the intermission report on the other side of the break here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. It's Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing. Here at the K. Yeager Coliseum, we're through 20 minutes of action. The Wildcats trailing 2-1. That's a spot they have not been in too many times this season. When trailing after one, as I mentioned before we took a break, the Cats are 3-2-0 as opposed to when they're leading after one. They're 5-0-0. Here's the thing. The Wildcats did not play poorly in the offensive zone. They didn't have the greatest chemistry working in the first period there, aside from the power play, which was trying to do a very specific set play, and they didn't execute on it the first time, but then did the second time around as Albrecht banged it into an empty net off some good puck work. I digress. Here's what the Wildcats need to improve on going forward. They need to be better in the faceoff dot, specifically in the faceoff dot in their defensive zone. Both goals against tonight came off faceoff losses in the D zone, and that's one thing. Losing a faceoff is one thing, but if you're not going to fight through the checks and fight through the pressure to get out to close down the man with the puck, then it's going to be a difficult time for your goaltender. That's exactly what happened on the first goal. No one got out to the point to challenge Kyle Steffen, and on the second goal, no one was able to hook Kyle Steffen off it enough as he just skated across the crease and waited until Zevnik was sprawled out on his belly and then lifted a backhander over Zevnik, and that's where we stand, 2-1. So still a lot of time for the Wildcats, but they're going to need to improve in the dot in their defensive zone. Although this is not uncharted territory for the Cats. They fell behind on Tuesday's game, and we'll find out right now exactly how that worked out for them. A quick reminder, there was no broadcast during the first period, so we pick up the action in the second period from Tuesday's game. Here for the Cats. Puck is down, and we're underway in the second period, brought to you by American Classified as right off the draw. Buck has some trouble with it as Farmer will force him back deep. Back there by Oakley. Walks and Enbach evades. Moves forward. Here's Engbach with speed. Engbach still in front. Scores! Coast-to-coast rush on the power play by Walks and Enbach. None of the Wildcats wanted to do anything to stop them, and they trail 2-1. Knight, back to the right point he goes. Knight now towards the middle, holding on it. Wanted a shot, but instead plays to Beaulieu. Quickly back to Knight. Shot through traffic off the back wall, and somehow Johansson makes the save. He sealed off the right post. Knight shot it off the lively carom off the back wall, and Staub couldn't get a stick to it to direct it home. 4:29 remaining in the second. Wildcats trailing 2-1. Reisinger chips off to the far side. Oakley will protect here. Now spins away from the check of Mansfield. That was Andrew McLean. Suicide battle. Sees Lazarus send it up to Townsend at the point. Back down for Lazarus at the half wall. We'll spin it down low for Oakley. Oakley shot, scores! Evan Oakley on the power play ties this one up 2 goals apiece. That's his 5th tally of the year, and we are deadlocked once more. That's going to be Oakley from Lazarus and Townsend. With that assist, Jake Townsend is now the record holder for most career points by a defenseman. Congratulations to Jake Townsend. That's point number 45 on his career. Off. Staub hacks at it. APAP back behind the net as well. In front, Beaulieu loading. Shot saved by Johansson. Puck loose near side. It'll be held in by Townsend off the left leg. Townsend tries to float it towards the net. Got a piece of somebody and goes off to the far side. Beaulieu up to the blue line. Chernyuk back near side. Townsend holding. Back to Chernyuk, middle of the blue line. Chernyuk shot. Goes wide of the cage. Beaulieu follow-up chance. And hitting Johansson square in the chest with the shot. Here's Staub. Turnaround shot blocked. Puck loose there in the right face-off circle. Nice stick here by Staub. He'll take it away from Jake Hamilton. Hamilton can't win this battle. Staub hooks it down low for APAP. In front, Beaulieu. Staub scores! Colin Staub picks up his 4th goal of the year. Great shift by that unit, and they get their reward. It's 3-2. Right on the cage of Johansson. He'll easily kick this one away. Made all the way down, no icing here. Townsend will have to hustle back here. He goes in awkwardly to the boards as Watson Enbach rode him in hard. Yeager back there to support as well. It's chipped loose. Watson Enbach worked it loose. It's loose in front. They score! Alex Alger ties this one up, 3 goals apiece. I thought Watson Enbach could have been given a penalty after he took Townsend down from behind, but we're back to even. It's 3-3. Hold this one in. Chipped up high. Now it's a foot race. Here's Gadarian. Cook the only man back. Saved by Shaw, and he'll cover the rebound. And we'll get a quick whistle as some extras will brew out of this one. Glove of Andrew McLean. He'll gain the red line and play this one deep. Right half wall, where Shodal was waiting for it. Sherizan didn't get good side position. Now it's a two-a-side battle. Cherniak fighting through some checks. Here's Mansfield tied up. Below the goal line. Now it's in front. Shot blocked. Puck still loose. They score. It's Hampus Shodal. The Wildcats weren't hungry enough in their own defensive zone, and the Cats trail 4-3. Cam Knight through the middle of the ice as Oakley will corral and turn up ahead. Here's Oakley. Hauled down, no call up coming here as he was dispossessed, intercepting his pass and skating it forward with the Jackalopes. That's Jesse Gentilla, rather Rasmus Watson-Enbach, serving it off the left pad of Austin Shaw in the last 5:30 of this third period. Here's Nick Farmer. Austin Albrecht. Albrecht will look to motor ahead. Albrecht slams on the brakes, is run down hard. Farmer towards the net, punched out loose. Here's Kuzmeski with the shot, score! Shane Kuzmeski, his second of the year. And with 5:19 remaining, the Cats tie this one up. Back and forth we go. What a game we have here at the Ector County Coliseum. The Wildcats and Jackalopes will need an extra 5 minutes here. Cats in overtime are 2-0-0 on the year. Won by the Wildcats off the draw. Here's Matt Cook skating it slowly forward. He'll wrap this one off the glass and it caroms its way to the near side. Beaulieu, check that there. Stop. Nice play to maintain possession and give to Beaulieu. Up to the point of Cam Knight. Knight at the right point. Cook in the high slot. Cook loading. Slap shot off the bar. 4:36 remaining in the overtime. Cook just slammed that one off the crossbar in overtime, and he had Johansson beaten clean. Staub wins the draw, drops pass. Look out, Townsend couldn't corral this one. Now we'll have to poke it away from Leo Lum, who has a step. Lum at the corner, forced wide here by Kuzmeski. Leaves the puck behind. Olzer's shot, save, puck loose. They jam forward, it's still loose, and it's knocked away there by a great stick. Holding the zone here was Christian Hausinger. Townsend chips this one softly ahead for Staub. The Wildcats get by on the skin of their teeth there as Lum had a great look in front and someone got to stick to it. I think it was Staub. Here is Staub in front. Staub, puck loose, and Beaulieu couldn't pull the trigger in front for Townsend on his backhand, and he couldn't pull the trigger from a knee. What goaltending, what mayhem. 2 minutes remaining in the overtime session. For the first time this year, Wildcats will need a skills session a winner. From the blue line, he'll skate onto this one, now taking it wide. What do we do? Here's Sherizan down the middle. Sherizan, and a blocker save there. Good save by Johansson, and the Wildcats are turned aside on their first shootout. Reminder, this is best of 5 as opposed to best of 3. So Andreas Soji will come up against Austin Shaw. Slowly down the middle at the left hash mark. Soji hits the bar. Onto this one at the red line. Down the middle, now at the left circle. Here's Beaulieu, and it's saved there nicely by Johansson. Now springing over the boards is Hampus Shodal. Had a goal in that third period. He'll pick it up. Slowly skate down the middle. Here's Shodal holding on his shot, scores. Now the Wildcats really need to pick one up here. Falconer, the defenseman, one time forward. Here's Falconer, scores. So now it'll be Kenny Hausinger. 0 for 1 on the year in shootouts. Waiting for the referee's whistle. He'll get it. Middle now to the left circle. Here's Hausinger holding. Hausinger saved by Shaw. Farmer will step out there for the Wildcats. He had a breakaway goal in the first period. Right-handed shooting Farmer will skate it down the middle. Slowly, now picking up some speed. Farmer holding, and he scores. What a move. Shot fake. Going for the poke check was Johansson, and Farmer pulled it back and slammed it into the back bar to make it. Eric Brown steps forward for Odessa. Brown will skate it down the middle on Shaw. Brown holding, thick work, and he scores. So, 2-2. 4 rounds. Round stepping in is Townsend. He set the record for most career points by a defenseman here this afternoon. He'll straight down the middle. Townsend holding, shot, scores. What a wrist shot. 5-hole, you don't save that one. So now it all comes down to the shoulders of Austin Shaw, who will go against Watson Engbach. Engbach must score for the Jackalopes to keep this alive. Left-handed shot. He'll skate down the middle. Engbach holding. Saved by Shaw. Into the glove. He'll drop it to the ice and skate to meet his teammates. The Wildcats win in a shootout. Entertaining back and forth seesaw affair at the Ector County Coliseum on Tuesday, and the Wildcats managed to come out on top after trailing at 3 different points in that contest. They're trailing for the second time tonight as we get set to enter the second period of action over the next few minutes. But before we do that, let's whip around the league and take a look at the Jerry Sporting Goods out-of-town scoreboard. And we will start in Flint, Michigan, where the Cooley Region Chill are in the third period against the Michigan Warriors. 4-3 the score in favor of Cooley Region. The Chill are 4-0-2 in their last 6 games, as that's a bit of a surprise on that high-scoring affair. That was a good goalie battle between Adam Carlson of the Chill and Ryan Wischow of Michigan, 2 of the better tenders in the North American Hockey League. In Janesville, Wisconsin, the Ice Miners are up 1-0 on the Jets through 1 period of action. Janesville has won 5 of their last 6. Keystone, by the way, broke a 5-game losing streak with a win last night, and they have just 6 goals in their last 5 games. Minnesota, the Wilderness are leading the Austin Bruins 1-0 through 20 minutes of play. Austin has struggled a bit lately, but they still lead the Central despite just 2 wins in their last 7 games. The Wilderness, they've won 3 of their last 4 and have allowed just 6 goals in their last 4 tilts. In Brookings, it is 1-0 with the Blizzard leading the Aberdeen Wings. Brookings lost 4 of their last 5 and is looking for just their 4th home win of the season in 11 tries. In Bismarck, the Minotauros lead the Bobcats 1-0. Minot struggling a bit lately. They're down to 2nd in the Central Division. However, they are looking to beat up on a Bismarck team that has claimed points in 4 of their last 5 contests. That's a home-and-home contest, by the way. Later on tonight, the Minnesota Magicians are in Fairbanks to take on the Ice Dogs, part of a 2-week Alaska swing for the Magicians after they were swept by Kenai River last week. The Brown Bears will play host to the Wenatchee Wild this week, so another 2-week Alaska swing underway, as it's the Wild. They were in Fairbanks last week, actually posted a sweep of the Ice Dogs last week, an impressive performance by the Wild, as looks like they're starting to turn a corner to Wenatchee. Either way, that will get underway at 7:30 Alaska time or 10:30 here Central time. Now taking a look at what's going on with the South Division teams. Topeka and Springfield deadlock 0-0 is the score in that one through 20 minutes of play. Through 20 in Corpus Christi, it is 5-2 with the Ice Rays leading the Jackalopes. And getting underway in the next few minutes, or rather I should say, underway already. Lone Star leading the Amarillo Bulls in the Battle of the Cattle down at the Nitec Center. 1-0 the score there with about 5 minutes remaining in the first period. The Brahmas have won 7 straight and are still undefeated at the Nitec Center. So this is certainly a tall order for the Bulls this weekend. That is the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by Jerry's Sporting Goods, as we will revisit that in the second intermission and get you caught up on what else is going on around the North American Hockey League. We will step aside here as that does it for us on the intermission report. When we return, we'll have the second period of action from the K. Yeager Coliseum, with the Wildcats looking to even this one up. They trail 2-1 entering the second stanza. We'll see if they can get back to level pegging on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere. Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing continues just after this. Second period straight ahead here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. Wildcats trailing 2-1. Teams will switch ends here. So Zevnik now in the cage to my left. Nick Schmidt in the cage to my right. As neither goalie really was tested too much in that first period. Schmidt's saves were fairly straightforward for the other end of the ice. Zevnik, not really much that he was going to be able to do on either of those goals. He needs a little bit more help from his teammates there to have a shot. So we'll start the period 5-on-5 as it'll be Q to P across your keyboard, left to right across your screen for the Wildcats. And coming back the other way, obviously, are the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. P to Q across your keyboard and right to left across your screen. It'll be Farmer, Sherazin, and Albrecht out there to get things going, along with Townsend and Konstantin Chernyuk for the Wildcats. Balsamo, Zumalitis, and Parker Wood, the forwards for Rio Grande Valley. Farmer will go against Dean Balsamo in the draw. And the puck is down. We are underway in the second period. Brought to you by American Classified as off the draw. That's another win for Rio in the faceoff dot. As here is Evan Bell. Bell looking to swoop through the neutral zone. He'll gain the red line and send it all the way in. Zevnik gets a stick to it, bouncing around towards the corner it goes. Here's Kyle Steffen. He's on a hat trick here as he's pinned into the far side half wall as Farmer and Konstantin Chernyuk try to work this puck loose. Chernyuk beaten there. Farmer in a good defensive position. Open cover. Puck loose there. Zevnik makes a save and it squirts loose out to the far side after he wasn't able to hold on to the initial shot. Puck is under a Killer Bees skater. He rolls over. That allows Farmer to free it up, and Farmer will give it up ahead to Chernyuk. Back to the near side for Albrecht. Albrecht onside play, no offside play, as the pass was in his skates, and that draws the whistle. 19-19 remaining in the second. Konstantin Chernyuk playing in his second game as an affiliate defenseman for the Wildcats. A big 6'5 skater out of St. Petersburg, Russia. Has spent the last couple of years with the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Knights program in Eastern Pennsylvania. Playing in the Atlantic Youth Hockey League. He was with their midget minor squad last year, playing with their midget major setup here this year before getting called up by the Wildcats. Here's Cam Knight in his own zone as Austin Beaulieu tries to play through the middle. His pass for APAP was intercepted, but it caroms around the neutral zone and into the Wildcats' offensive zone as Trevor Abbott is back in his own D zone playing this one along to Waylon Williams. Puck loose on the far side half wall. Beaulieu stopped trying to dig this one loose. The puck is still in the offensive zone of the Wildcats as Beaulieu holds his own, plays it towards the net, deflected off the stick of Trevor Abbott, and Schmidt had to make a save. Held nicely here by Matt Cook. Plays it to APAP, settling his shot blocked. Puck still loose there, bouncing around as the Cats are in the midst of a change as Staub and APAP come to the bench. Litviak out there along with Yeager as through the neutral zone. This is skated onto by Nikita Litviak. Evades the sweeping check of Croston, but couldn't get past Trevor Abbott in the same way as the Wildcats have to tag up in the neutral zone. Here's Litviak. Blind pass up ahead to Oakley. Oakley through the middle. Walking still. Oakley on his backhand. Puck still loose there, and the Cats can't get a shot away. Oakley did some nice footwork there to dance his way inside one, but couldn't get a shot away. Puck loose on the far side. Squirts free. Swung around to the near side wall. Kuzmeski. Nice keep here. His shot towards the net. Wide of the cage. Might have gotten a stick. Here's Oakley. Looks to stash down low. Yeager couldn't handle this one as it's bumped back off to the far side. Oakley will sweep this down low once more. A.J. Green first of this one here. Someone is without a glove out there as there's a mitten sitting down loose in the Wildcats defensive zone as this is chipped in deep by Parker Wood. Rio is in the midst of a change. Gallup under some pressure here. Has his pocket picked by Girards. Subri ties his man up. No penalty upcoming here. Wanting one was the Killer Bees bench, but they still maintain possession in the offensive zone. Up to the blue line where a slap shot goes wide of the cage on a one-timer. Kevin Clare softly back down low towards the corner. Dallas Girards there. Scatliff will tie him up. 17-20 remaining in the second period as Litviak gets involved to try and help out in a two-a-side scrum. Up to the near side wall. Here's a shot. Caroming around there and pinballs behind the net. Tied up there by Subri was a man behind the net. This is going to be another power play upcoming for the Killer Bees as the Wildcats need to do a better job staying out of the box. Still they can't touch up. Clare holding on a delayed penalty call. His shot well wide of the cage. First of this one here, Dean Balsamo. Net empty to my right and a delayed penalty call as the Wildcats are struggling just to touch up. Killer Bees running them ragged a little bit in their own defensive zone. Down to the near side. Clare holds at the point. Litviak finally touches up and we'll get the whistle. 16:45 remaining in the second period. The Wildcats trailing 2-1. They've given up a power play goal already tonight, and they're going to head back to the penalty kill here this evening. 1 for 2 on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill here tonight. Dubious call to Oakley that put them down a man and then down a goal as Kyle Steffen scored on a shot right off the draw. And we'll see what the Wildcats can do here on this PK, as right away they'll send this one all the way down. Checking from behind call. Paul Subry is looking to bring this one forward. Here's Waylon Williams. Williams all the way through the middle now to Balsamo. Balsamo walking all the way through. Stefnik makes a save. Bouncing puck and he'll cover up. He'll take an extra hack there as there's a coming together down low. I think that was Stathis Sumulidis who was down low. As it looks like Sumulidis is going to get dinged for that extra hack. So that will negate the Killer Bees power play. We'll skate 4-on-4. Not a smart play there by the Czech Republic skater Sumulidis. Off to the right of Schmidt. Falconer would take the draw. Falconer back at forward tonight after a 4-game foray at defense. Risinger shot. Puck is loose. Kuzmeski picks it up. Here's Shane Kuzmeski. Kuzmeski couldn't play it towards the corner. Risinger picks it up. Risinger towards the middle. Kuzmeski can't settle a bouncing puck. He'll reach for this one. Tries to hold his own. One hand. He'll chip it back towards the corner, but it's intercepted here by Waylon Williams. He's under some pressure here from Alex Falconer. He'll curl away and look to gain the zone. Instead, Risinger gets in the way. He took a puck up high, holding his face area as he'll gingerly skate towards the bench. That one ramped off a stick. Here's Townsend on the puck. Back to the near side for Falconer as Albrecht is on the left side. Falconer cuts towards the middle. His shot saved. Puck loose. Albrecht couldn't score. Puck still loose. Townsend, as he was tumbling down to the ice, put it wide. Kuzmeski off to the far side. He'll chip at this one. Bennett gloves it down, looks to bring it forward. Instead, it's Albrecht. Albrecht trying to wheel through some traffic. At the near side half wall, he'll put on the brakes, waits for some reinforcements. Nice pass to Kuzmeski, loading his shot, saved, rebound spilled, and picked up here by Oakley. Oakley hooked off it here. He'll spin it down low for Albrecht. Albrecht looking to go out in front where Townsend was waiting. Townsend will retreat back to the blue line as Oakley will corral. Oakley with his back towards the net. Nice moves to sweep his way inside. Penalty upcoming here, and touching up are the Killer Bees. So Oakley, with some nice moves and good footwork off to the far side, will draw a tripping call. 15:08 remaining in the second period. We're skating 4-on-4 for the next 23, but now the Wildcats will be up 4-on-3 for the next 23 seconds, and then they will have a 5-on-3 for an additional 23 after that, and then they will remain on the power play. Face off to the right of Schmidt here. Very good opportunity early in this second period to get things leveled up once more. Puck loose, carrying around towards the near side. Cook will hustle after this one in the corner. Here's Cook, wheeling towards the top of the circle. Down low for Apap, back across. He was looking for Beaulieu, but Schmidt was alert, got his stick in the way and covers up. 14:59 remaining in the second. What a chance that was for Townsend just a moment ago. Had the entire net to shoot at as he was tumbling down to the ice. Couldn't stay on balance, and as he was falling down, that was enough to send that puck high over the cage. Nice clean win off the faceoff here for Matt Cook in the 4-on-3. Cook at the blue line, trades places with Cam Knight. Off to Knight, here's Knight, high slot, save, puck loose. Trying to jam for it there was Apap on the near side, but he couldn't direct it towards the cage. Knight will stash this one, tries to hustle up towards a point to hold the zone. Apap does, as the Wildcats are on a 5-on-3 for the next 20 seconds. Here is Knight as Staub gets in the play. Knight shot, Staub, bouncing puck, still loose. Here's Beaulieu settling. Beaulieu, now to Matt Cook. Cook holding his shot backdoor. Apap touches at it, puck is loose. Knight jabs at it. Beaulieu shot save, and it goes off to the far side corner. Wildcats still on the 5-on-4, as out of the box here is a Killer Bees skater. It's Cam Knight, near side circle. His shot off a leg, caroms towards the net and goes high over the cage. Behind the net, it's Beaulieu. Quickly up to Matt Cook, who couldn't corral the pass cleanly. He's going to have to hustle after this one. He'll chop at it, as putting him under pressure here was a Killer Bees forechecker. That was Stumulidis, who is out there. 4 seconds remaining in the Wildcats power play. Chipped in deep there by Matt Cook. Yeager will hustle in after this one. Good stick there to cancel out a clearing attempt. Bouncing around it's along the goal line. Swung along the near side boards. Townsend will keep. Matt Cook now. Cook will play this one down low for Staub. Staub softly off to Yeager. Yeager looking to go up to the point and does for Townsend. Townsend, quick slap shot, saved and knocked away there by Schmidt. Cleared and down in the last 23 seconds of the Wildcats power play. Now Litviak could be a 2-on-1. Onside play. Litviak couldn't get a pass across. He couldn't catch the pass cleanly. That's unsettled the entire sequence. They'll battle for it in the near side corner on the last 10 ticks on the man advantage. Litviak pulled it free. Can't work it towards the point, as now the Wildcats will have to hustle back, and that should do it in their power play. Litviak takes his man off the puck, but here's a shot, goes high and wide, and Konstantin Chernyuk sweeps this one away from the cage. Back to 5-on-5 with 13 minutes remaining in this second period. Cats still trailing 2-1. Sent all the way down. This should have been icing, but Chernyuk got incredibly lazy. He didn't even skate after that one. Here's Oakley. He'll pick it up. No harm, no foul, but the Cats can't clear the zone. On his second look, it pinballs around and is carried free. Chernyuk chips at this one. Can't get it in deep, however. Now, in the neutral zone, he'll just leave this one along for it to be played to Reisinger, but it's offside. 12:36 remaining in the second period. The Wildcats trailing 2-1. Not to harp on the young defenseman Konstantin Chernyuk there, but he needs to have better situational awareness in that instance, as he needs to hustle back to the dot to get that icing whistle. There was going to be one called until he just stopped 10 feet inside his defensive blue line. For a guy trying to make this team, you need to see more than that. Albrecht off the faceoff, couldn't fight through the check and get a shot on net. Near side wall, it's pulled free by Sherzin towards the net, off a couple of legs and skitters wide. Farmer tied up with his man there, but Trevor Abbott won that battle. Farmer, now Sherzin, poked towards the net. Albrecht, puck is loose there, and covering it is Schmidt. I like this unit of Sherzin, Albrecht, and Farmer, working hard, big, strong bodies there on the puck, trying to work it loose. 12:17 remaining in the second. Reminder, at the end of this period, we'll hear from Austin Shaw, the new Ivy League commit for the Wildcats, committed to Princeton earlier in the season, about 3 days ago. Committed last Friday, made it official this past Wednesday as Farmer wins this draw. Nicely won to Kosmeski. Kosmeski shot wide of the cage, rolling up the back of it. Reisinger chops at this one. Farmer, it's loose in front as Reisinger is out there for a shift instead of Kevin Sherzin. Kosmeski, rather Albrecht at the point. Now it's Scatliff trying to hustle through. This is playing all the way down. Scatliff will get back there to give his man a good bump. That's Anthony Crossan, but Crossan maintains possession. Puck loose in front, and Kosmeski throws himself at Connor Wood to separate him from the disc. Parker Wood will get it right back. Kosmeski with that big long reach. Puck is loose, and it works to the slot where a shot is ramped away to the back glass. Wildcats clear, not all the way down. It's loose. Ooh, looking to pick it there was Reisinger, and he almost did, and he would have been away on a breakaway as he tries to play it along to Farmer, but he can't do it. Sent all the way in deep here by the Killer Bees. They're starting to get a buzz going here as this is off to the near side, and the Wildcats look to corral. Apap up ahead. He couldn't find Reisinger. Now it's a 2-on-1 for Rio. Crashing through the middle, loading, holding, shot, save, puck loose there as it's still loose, and the net is knocked off its moorings. And some mayhem develops in the blue paint. That was Christopher DePrez and Zach Bennett who had that 2-on-1. The shot was saved by Zevnik. He stood tall. I'm not sure who got caught out of position there on that one. 11:13 remaining in the second, but the Cats are running around in their own zone a little bit right now. Off will be to the left of Zevnik here. Shots on goal, 19-14, according to the big board here at the KYC, in favor of the Wildcats. And a heavy disparity in this second period, but that is largely because of those power play opportunities. Beaulieu couldn't settle a bouncing puck. On the far side, it is just in front of the Wildcats penalty box and picked up by Rio, who did not gain the red line, but someone got his stick to this one, so there's no icing. Cook quickly slivered along to Beaulieu. Beaulieu couldn't work it out free. Instead, it's back behind, where Cook plays it softly along to Cam Knight. Calm, collected play there by Knight to give it up ahead to Staub. Now Apap having some trouble with it. He'll work it ahead to Beaulieu, and the Wildcats will look to skate ahead to the near side. Staub with a nice control, has Beaulieu in the middle. Here's Staub, and he couldn't get the shot away, and he went down awkwardly to the ice. Slowly back to his feet is Colin, and will play on. Going to skate forward. Here's a Demarifu for the Killer Bees. He'll just chip this one and come to the bench for a change. Cam Knight out there to tie his man up along with Matt Cook. Losing out, however, are the Wildcats. Played up to the point where it's held in by Abbott. down low, looking for Girard's. Getting a stick in the way was Yeager. Yeager lost this one, however, back behind the cage. Cam Knight and Matt Cook try to work it free, and it'll be picked up by Eric Yeager. Yeager up ahead to Falconer now. Falconer chips this one. He'll hustle in after it. It's towards the cage of Schmidt. He'll step away from his crease and ladle this one softly along to the far side half wall where Falconer pulls it free. Falconer protects, looks to spin it towards the middle. Yeager had it lost in his skates and he couldn't pull the trigger. Nice step up here by Chernyuk. His shot saved and held by Schmidt. 9:44 remaining in the second period. Nice work there by Falconer to swivel that one in front, where Yeager was waiting between the hash marks, but he didn't have his stick on the ice. He's also a right-handed shot, as Eric Yeager, so that would have been a difficult backhand effort to take one time. 9:44 remaining in the second period here as the Wildcats are trailing 2-1. They've had some decent looks, most notably Townsend stumbling down to the ice, put it high over the bar from his backside, as the Wildcats are taking a quick minute to honor Jake Townsend here, who became the franchise's all-time leader in points by a defenseman, with an assist on Tuesday's game. Off to the right of Schmidt. Yeager will take the draw. We're skating 5-on-5. Face off. The Cats will poke this one down low. Instead, it's ramped along here by the Killer Bees as Rob Click can't clear. Townsend takes a slash. Then he's checked down from behind. No call up coming as Yeager will delay in the neutral zone as the Cats tag up. Townsend at his own blue line now. He'll play it through the middle looking for Falconer. Falconer had some trouble with it, so he'll retreat and sauce it along to Townsend. Here is Townsend. Up ahead. Did someone get a stick to it? No. This is going to be an icing here against the Cats as Oakley just didn't get back to beat it. 9:17 remaining in the second. The Wildcats are trailing 2-1 here. And they'll have to deal with a faceoff coming to the left of David Zevnik. Rio, incidentally, when scoring first, 3-3-1. They scored first here tonight. When leading after one, they are 1-1-0. It hasn't happened too many times, as I mentioned. They've only led after two periods of play one time as well, and it's tracking that way right now as Bell holds this one in towards the net. Nicely blocked there by Townsend. He'll clear as this one softly skitters down and will come up short of icing. Ademarifi in his first game with Rio Grande Valley, hustling back and playing it up to Bell. Here's Bell gaining the zone. Stick drag here and had it poked away from him, but Steffen with a shot goes wide. Picking it up here are the Wildcats. It's on the stick of Austin Albrecht. He'll bank it off the near side. It didn't reach Sherzin now, as this is played back by Bell towards the stick of Ademarifi. Wildcats force a turnover. Here's Farmer. Has Sherzin in front. Now it's Albrecht and Farmer down low. Puck bouncing around. It's loose in the crease. Albrecht has it loading his shot, and it whistled wide of the right-hand post. Scatliff couldn't hold this one in. He'll have to hustle back. Scatliff off to the left wing side. And Shane Kuzmeski at the left point. Sherzin took a bump but rolled this one forward. Farmer gains his own. Here is Farmer, has a man in front, and his pass was behind Austin Albrecht, who was crashing the slot. It's picked up and brought forward nicely there by Baker, but Baker is bumped off it by Albrecht, and Kuzmeski is the first back to it here for the Cats. He'll bump it back along for Turk Scatliff with 8:10 remaining in this second period. Through the middle of the ice, it's Sherzin trying to skate through some traffic. He'll play this wide of the cage after gaining the red line and come to the bench for a change. Wayland Williams back there to grab it for Rio. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network in the last 8 minutes of the second period as the Wildcats trail 2-1 here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. Beaulieu, quick pass, trying to hit Collins' Staub. It was intercepted as the Cats try to start it up once more. Knight's pass was intercepted by Bennett. Here's Bennett at the near side wall. He'll put on the brakes, can't turn it back towards the point as Staub was in the way to intercept, and Beaulieu will force this one free. Now they might have a 2-on-1. Staub wasn't able to reach this one ahead of Wayland Williams as Beaulieu comes along to support. Fresh from the bench, here's Yeager. Yeager, his shot saved, puck loose, and they score! Collins Staub diving down to the ice, fighting through the check. His second goal in as many games, and we're deadlocked 2-2. That was a great play by Beaulieu to keep it alive. He flung it from the left wing wall, back to Yeager near his side. Yeager's shot was saved. The puck was sitting loose in a juicy area, and Colin Staub whacked it home to make it 2-2. Can't say enough about the effort there by Staub to hustle after that one, cancel out Waylon Williams, and keep him from getting an easy clear. Beaulieu came along, flung it into some open space for Eric Yeager, fresh from the bench, and the Wildcats went to work from there. Off the face-off, some bodies tangle up here as in possession are the Wildcats as Cam Knight will motor this one ahead. Will it come up short of icing? Yes, it will, thanks to the linesman Samick there, who got in the way just a bit. As off to the near side, it squirts as the Killer Bees are in possession. Instead, Yeager swats this one back to Matt Cook to take. Cook will motor this one ahead. A bouncing puck skips through everyone. Litviak tries to dispossess everyone from the blind side. Instead, it's Matt Cook once more. Litviak swoops back into his own zone to take and gives along to Yeager. Yeager chips to some space, trying to beat Robert Click. He did so, as now the puck is behind the net. Good effort there by Yeager. Oakley gives Click a good bump as the Bees are able to clear the zone. It's a foot race. Matt Cook back to get it there, put under pressure nicely by Parker Wood as the Cats are able to clear the zone. 6:20 remaining in the second period. Oakley will pick this one up in the neutral zone and look to skate. He'll gain the zone around Clare. Here's Oakley. Puts on the brakes at the circle. Shot saved there by Schmidt. Puck is loose behind the cage for Litviak. Litviak spins it out in front. Nobody home. Townsend picks up the loose puck all the way at the point. Townsend will swing it around the boards for Litviak. Litviak at the goal line. Tries to go towards the middle. Parker Wood intercepts, and this one is cleared all the way down. And just over the outstretched glove of Konstantin Chernyuk, which takes a lot of doing, as the 6'5" Russian just wasn't tall enough to glove that one down. Chernyuk and Subri work to clear this one out. Subri, hard pass cross ice. Townsend rushing onto it. Here is Townsend holding. Now Townsend loading a shot, saved. Sticked away there by Schmidt. Townsend was shooting for a rebound. Nice work by Reisinger to hold the zone. His shot through the blue paint, nobody home. Chernyuk chips at this one and will retreat to the point as the Wildcats keep the forecheck working here. Chernyuk holds, gloves it down, and plays it towards the corner. Adamarifi first to this one, off to the far side where it's hacked out and rolls all the way down. This will come up short of icing as it rolls on edge. Townsend will collect in his own zone. Quickly up to Subri. Subri banks off the boards for Reisinger, who kicks it to his stick blade and moves forward as this is Farmer. Farmer's shot wide of the cage, and Schmidt covers up off the backboards. 5:10 remaining in the second period. 2-2 the score after Colin Staub's 5th goal of the year and second in as many games has us level again. The assists from Eric Yeager and Austin Beaulieu. So Beaulieu now has 2 helpers on the night, giving him 19 points on the year. As for Colin, that is a goal and an assist tonight. So Staub now up to 16 points on the year. Face off to the left of Schmidt here as the Wildcats are looking to build on this momentum they've gained here. They've really started to get some things working in the offensive zone in the last 2 to 3 minutes since that goal especially. Here's Scatliff and Albrecht. They fight each other for it. Instead, it works free for Kuzmeski, his shot, and that goes wide of the cage. Now Scatliff will have to hustle back into the neutral zone to grab it. He'll turn back up ice. Doesn't like what he sees, clears it, but turned it over. Here's Girard's holding on it, gives down low, and flubbing that pass, trying to hold on to it, was Andrew Green. Puck loose to the doorstep, and it's sent wide of the cage by Girard's, as this is Wendling, unable to reach this one. It's just cleared into the neutral zone. Farmer overskates it as he was trying to sweep it away from a B skater, and Waylon Williams. Now it's a clean break for Sherazin. In all alone at the slot, Sherazin saved by Schmidt. Up to the point. Kuzmeski dances his way inside one. Kuzmeski holding, shot saved, puck loose, they'll jam for it. Albrecht can't turn it home, and the net is off its moorings. We'll get the whistle, and someone is dumped down to the ice after the play. 4:22 remaining in the second. I don't know exactly how that happened, but somehow the Wildcats wound up on a 2-on-0. Sherazin looking at the rafters as he skates to the bench. Had a clean breakaway, and Schmidt turned him aside. Good solid save there by the 94 out of Fargo, North Dakota, Nick Schmidt. But as you see right there, like I was saying, the Wildcats really starting to build some momentum and get into a rhythm here as they'll put the face-off in the defensive zone, rather in the neutral zone. That will take the draw. It's won there by Rio. I'd like to see the face-off splits this evening, as this is Demarifi in his own zone. Arifi plays this off to the near side for his new D partner, Evan Bell. It's banked up ahead through the neutral zone. Trying to carry it through was Bennett, but instead it's on the stick of Matt Cook with a nice little sweep back to Cam Knight, who will look to skate forward. Knight swings it cross ice, tries to hit Apap. Apap fights through the check. Now Arifi will ride him off. Bolio goes into support in the far side corner and works it free. Bolio stashes up to the point. Nice keep here by Matt Cook towards the net. Bouncing around, and Schmidt reacts quickly to sweep it away with the stick. In front there by Apap, and Bolio can lunge and get it towards the cage. This one cleared all the way down. Cook will be the first to it as it comes up short of icing. He'll bank it forward for someone to sweep onto. Apap tried to touch it into the path of Staub, but Staub overskates it. Nice play there by Cook to disrupt the play, but the Bees still hold the zone. It's A.J. Green. Green up to the point in Kevin Clare. Clare towards the net, blocked aside there by Zebnik with the waffle board as Staub gives this one up ahead to Bolio, who will ladle this one softly along and come to the bench for a change as it comes up well short of icing. Wholesale change on by the Wildcats. This one goes up and out of play with 3:09 remaining in the second period. The Wildcats and Killer Bees locked up 2 apiece here. It is Kyle Steffen with both for Rio Grande Valley, Austin Albrecht and Colin Staub with the goals for the Wildcats. Faceoff will be just outside the Wildcats' blue line, defensive blue line that is, on the far side in front of the sin bins. And it'll be Yeager to take the draw against Dean Balsamo. Another win by Balsamo, as this is flung in by Abbott into the chest of Zebnik, and he'll just hold on. And we'll get a whistle. 3 minutes remaining in this second period. 3:03 is what's on the board here. Shots on goal in this second period are skewed heavily in favor of the Wildcats. 18-6 is the tally right now. Make that 18-7 if they credit Abbott with a shot on goal on that attempt. This one is worked out into the neutral zone as Demarifi is under pressure from Litviak, but it's worked forward by Steffen. Chernyuk got his stick involved there. That tied Steffen up just a little bit as Balsamo tries to work this loose just inside the blue line. Yeager back in good defensive position to help out Chernyuk. Now Chernyuk will ramp this one up the boards, and it goes all the way down. Litviak, he took a little bump. Now it's a foot race. Trevor Abbott will win this one as Abbott has some pressure but plays it up ahead to Demarifi. Turned over. Here's Litviak in the corner. He was tied up, had no passing lane there. Not much Nikita could do on that one, as this is on the near side wall and gloved down nicely by Townsend. Townsend down low for Oakley. Oakley looking to spin away from some pressure. He's in the corner now. Quickly along to Litviak. Litviak couldn't swivel it out in front as Abbott clears this one only as far as Chernyuk at the blue line. Hand pass though as Oakley touched it before Chernyuk could get his stick to it. So we get the whistle, 2:10 remaining in the second, and we'll get a neutral zone face-off here in a 2-2 contest in the last 2:10 of the second period. One more plug for our upcoming interview with Austin Shaw in the second period. Stick around. I had a good extensive sit down with Austin, and he's got some interesting insight into what this season was like for him coming in as a third goaltender and how it all ramped up after the showcase and what a whirlwind of a process it was to secure his commitment. That's coming up in the second intermission as this one is behind the cage of Zebnik. Skatliff rolls it around. He was hoping for Reisinger. Instead, it's held by Rio Grande Valley. Swiveled towards the net, tied up here in front of the cage. It goes wide from Dallas Sherrods on a turnaround attempt. Quick will spike this one down low. Reisinger will meet it at the near side half wall, but he can't win that battle. Behind the net with it was Logan Wendling. Falconer takes this one away, pushes it along for Kosmeski. Now Kosmeski slams it off the boards, and Reisinger can't clear. Wildcats need to get out of their own zone, and they'll finally be able to do so. And now they might skate in a 3-on-2, but Reisinger couldn't pass the bouncing puck up ahead to Falconer. On the stick of Shane Kosmeski. Now Skatliff. Nice pass up ahead to find Subri. Subri left it there for Kosmeski, who wasn't ready for it, so Subri will turn around and play this one off the boards to the neutral zone. 10 remaining in the second period. Zebnik leaves this one along. Skatliff hammered off the boards for Kosmeski. Kosmeski as Reisinger looks to leak ahead, but it was intercepted in the neutral zone. As bringing it forward, here's Anthony Crossan. Here's Crossan protecting, swivels it in front, and unable to get a shot away there was Andrew Green as Kosmeski tied him up. Legal plays all the way around as the Wildcats clear the zone in the last minute of play in the first period. In the second period, brought to you by La Quinta Inns and Sweeps. Rio chips this one in deep. The Wildcats need to break this pressure, and they sorely need a change of defense right now. Skatliff and Kosmeski has been out there for far too long. Here is Skatliff. Falconer fights through the check. He'll roll this one down, and this will skitter away as Adamarifi tries to turn it quickly up the ice. Kosmeski caught in his own zone, and the Killer Bees had two in the middle, but they couldn't get anyone towards the net. Turning around and loading a shot that's saved there by Zevnik. Now picking it up here is Balsamo. Balsamo swings it towards the corner. First to meet this here is Zumalides. Shot deflects high and gets the glass in the last 15 seconds here. And the Wildcats are able to work this one into the neutral zone. Sherazin bumped his man off in the last 10 seconds. Albrecht will gain the zone. He's on his back end, fed towards the middle, and it was off his skate. Nice bump there between Sherazin and a man, Trevor Abbott, in the corner, as the horn will sound on the second period as Sherazin and Abbott go at it a little bit here, and the linesman quick to skate in and break this one up. So, good action here in the second period. The Wildcats tie this one up 2 goals apiece on Colin Staub's 5th goal of the year off some great work to hold the zone by Staub and Beaulieu as the Cats were in the midst of a change. We'll break it all down on the other side of the break, and as I mentioned, we'll have that sit down with Wildcats netminder Austin Shaw. All that and more on the other side of the break here on Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a second on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Back here at the K. Yeager Coliseum, 40 minutes of hockey are in the books, 20 minutes still ahead, but we have a few minutes before we get to that in the third period. So it is 2-2 here. Colin Staub's 5th goal of the year has tied this one up off a great play. Colin Staub got it started, by the way, and he took a beating on that play. Canceled out Waylon Williams on the far side as he took a bump. And Beaulieu came along to pick up the loose puck. Beaulieu chipped it from the left wing boards all the way back to the near side, where Yeager took the saucer pass cleanly on his blades, fresh from the bench. His shot was a quick little slap shot, kind of a half slapper, if you will, and Schmidt spilled the rebound into a dangerous area, which was exactly what Yeager was hoping for, I'm sure, and Staub came along to deflect the rebound up and in over Schmidt after he had been handcuffed. So that's where we are, 2 goals apiece, as Wildcats dominated the shots on goal in that period. 18-9 is the count. 27-17 is the count for the 2 periods of action. But without any further ado, I plugged it enough times in the second period that we'll get right to it here. We'll now be listening to Wildcats goaltender Austin Shaw, who earlier this week made his commitment to Princeton University official. I had a good sit down to talk about the beginning of this season, his mindset, the whirlwind that was his recruiting process, and what he's looking forward to next. Here's Austin Shaw. We're here with you Wildcats fans, and joining me now is Wildcats netminder Austin Shaw, who is the man of the hour, just announced his commitment to Princeton University for 2015-16. And Austin, first and foremost, congratulations. Thanks for taking some time out to join us, and man, it's been a real whirlwind few months for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Got in here and, felt like a good group of guys. And I think, that's a lot of what attributed to the current situation and my commitment to Princeton. Definitely couldn't have done that without the help of the team. I think our Coach LaFontaine, too, the systems he's been working with the guys and, really helping us play some good defensive hockey and helping keep my job a bit easier. I'm really excited, and it's been a crazy couple months.
So you come down to Wichita Falls in August. You know that you are one of 3 goaltenders who have made the team out of main camp in Chicago in July. What's your mindset heading into the season?
Well, with two returning guys, and I knew I was a rookie, so I had to come in there and show that was my position to have, and kind of not back down and just compete every day on the ice. Always be trying to do something extra and just go the extra mile, I guess. It was a little nerve-wracking being a 96 going up against 2 older guys, and that's kind of how the coaches set my mind at the end of main camp. They said, you're going to come in and there's going to be 2 older guys and you're going to have to compete and and push each other, and we'll move on from there. So I tried not to let it get in my head too much, because that could have been pretty destructive, I think, for my game, and just kind of tried to focus on what I could control rather than what the other guys were doing. So
you think back to the first preseason game of the year, and you get your first look at what juniors is like in that game at the NYTEX Center in North Richland Hills against the Brahmas. And you and I had a quick conversation on the bus after the fact, and the first thing you said to me with a little smile was, "That's a lot faster than midgets." How was that adjustment?
In ways, I think it was pretty difficult, but I also thought it was a lot easier than I expected it to be. I think a lot of it, it's kind of in your own head. You grow up with guys that end up playing juniors a bit earlier than the rest of the pack, and they come back and you hear things, and it seems like this whole different level. But I think so much of that, contributes to how there's this image and a sense of what juniors should be like, and then you come in and, one thing I kind of realized is that the kids we're playing against in the North American Hockey League, they're all the same kids I've been growing up playing against. So there's no reason to feel like extra pressure or feel like you're not there with the rest of the group. So in a sense, that kind of helped me a lot. I think just kind of slowing things down and not overthinking the game and just kind of letting things happen, and not trying to overplay pucks, overplay the game or anything, and just enjoy it and get used to playing in front of a lot of people. That's not going to change, further down the road. So you might as well just learn how to deal with that and the extra pressure.
And that's really what juniors is a great learning experience as guys look to progress into the college level. So from there, Austin, from that preseason game, you bide your time a little bit, and then you get your moment, and you seize it. That 3-0 win, a shutout to announce your presence in the league, up at the league showcase against the Minnesota Wilderness. As you're skating onto the ice for warm-ups, what's coursing through your head?
I was a wreck. I remember, we did my routine, took care of everything off the ice before the game, came out for warm-ups, and it felt like every puck was going by me. You look up in the stands, you see all the scouts, you see all the fans, parents and stuff, whoever were there. Warm-ups were so bad that Coach Stransky pulled me off the ice onto the bench during warm-ups, and he just told me, it's you and me. Don't look don't worry about the other guy. Don't worry about whatever's going on in the stands. Just make that first save and take the game from there. And in a sense, I think that's kind of just what happened. I tried not to overthink things and just enjoy it myself, and have fun and have trust the guys, what they're doing in front of us. I think that was a big part of it too. I think the older guys, young kid and stuff. The first 2 preseason games didn't necessarily go great for me. So I think there was a bit of a trust thing there with the rest of the team, in terms of having a goaltender that they can count on in the net. So I just kind of try to get in there and make the first save and not think ahead of the game too much. Just kind of take it shot by shot. So.
Yeah, and there was that big save exploding from right to left, and that's one that has kind of made a mark in a lot of people's memories from that game, Austin. As just to reset real quick, Wilderness on a power play, have a good chance out in front to the right. Shaw makes the initial save and then explodes from right to his left and charges out of the crease at the same time, all in one movement, all in a split second to close down that second shot and swallow up the rebound. And I can tell you from where I was watching that game, Austin, that there was a row of coaches and other hockey minds in front of me who all kind of looked at each other and had a little smile after that one. And really from there, Austin, is when a lot of this recruiting interest really ramped up. You had a lot of conversations with college coaches immediately after those couple of games in the showcase. What was that like for you, seemingly all at once?
I think it was not what I expected. Same with my family. I think for us it was always... we were the ones reaching out to coaches through some kind of mutual relationship with a coach back home, or just some kind of connection. Kind of like we were in Boston visiting family. Let's go, try to meet up with the BU coach or something like that. So it was really exciting. I think too, just to have coaches approaching me. I think, it kind of feels like everything's coming together as a player, but you also have to be very conscious of not letting that get in your head, and focus on what's going on, on the ice, because as long as you're taking care of that, I really believe everything off the ice will take care of itself. So it was just an issue of being focused, and I think it happened really fast. After
Did the speed
show,
surprise you?
the speed of the game.
The speed of the recruiting process.
Yeah, I'd say I think I was kind of just a kid in the North American League. It wasn't, never kind of some crazy top prospect kid that was making a name for himself as a 16-year-old or something. But I just kind of jumped in there and tried to seize the opportunity in Blaine, and kind of things kind of happened from there. So.
And you kind of had a specific set of parameters that you were looking for in a school, and as you're getting attention from a lot of different schools all at once, was it tough to remain focused on what you were looking for in a school, aside from just what you might have been looking for in a college hockey program?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think, everybody's going to be different when it comes to stuff like that. I think there's a lot of kids that... may want a better hockey program and not so focused on the school. For me, I think, I always tried to push myself. My parents tried to push me in school, and that was a big thing for me. I think, to get decent grades and, something to take pride in personally, and I think something you want to take advantage of certainly. So that was the biggest thing for me. I think I've always had a dream to kind of go to an Ivy League school. I think that everybody wants to be a pro hockey player, but at some point that dream might run out, and you have to be prepared and have something to fall back on. So that was kind of my mindset on all of that.
So you, after a visit at a couple of different schools, you make an official visit to Princeton, and obviously the academics are alluring in and of themselves, an Ivy League institution, a beautiful campus in New Jersey, and Princeton, one of the nicest towns in New Jersey for sure. What did you like about both the program and the school as a whole? Because obviously you can look at pictures, you can read the literature, but until you step on campus and get a feel for what it's really like, it's hard to say how good you might fit in somewhere.
Yeah, I think I kind of stepped on Princeton's campus and didn't really know what to expect. I just it's a special place. I think one thing that really struck me was the guys, like the hockey players. They're a really nice group of guys, very humble. We're all there for the right reasons, I think, and I also Coach Fogarty was really impressive for myself and my family as well. Very driven. I think he's coming in this is his first year coaching, and Princeton's record the past year might not have been the greatest, but I really believe in what Coach Fogarty is doing, and I think he'll be able to turn the program around, and it'll be a good couple of years. So, and like you said, the academic side of it, stuck out to me too. I think New York City is an hour away on train, so there's a lot of opportunity for internships if that was ever something I wanted to look into. So.
And the nice little perk here, getting to play in one of the oldest ice rinks in the world, Hobey Baker Arena, which was named after Hobey Baker, a player at Princeton, and who the award for the top college player goes to each year. It's named after Hobey Baker, the aforementioned Hobey Baker Award. Austin, with the commitment now nailed down, what's your focus for the rest of the year?
For the rest of the year, I think I just want to focus on helping the team be successful and contributing, I guess, and it's going to be really nice to not have to worry about anything else. There's not going to be kind of any of that other noise around me and extra distraction. So just dialing things in on the ice and trying to help contribute to the team and keep pushing and as we kind of go down in the season. So.
See what the rest of the season has in store for the Wildcats and Austin Shaw, and we'll also be looking out to see what Austin's future has in store for Mr. Shaw as well. Austin, thanks so much for taking some time to join us.
Absolutely, Ben. Appreciate it.
Here first, the Wildcats netminder Austin Shaw making his commitment to becomes the second player in team history to commit to Princeton University. However, he is the first person in team history to commit to the Tigers while playing in Wichita Falls. Kevin lists the other Wildcats alumni who has gone on to the Ivy League institution while he was with the Youngstown Phantoms of the USHL. By the way, he is not just the second Ivy League player. Wildcats netminder Dan DeLeo, you may remember him if you've been around the team for a while, from 04, the 04-05 campaign. He attended Cornell. Not see much time there. He still made the commitment, still attended Cornell, still got himself an Ivy League education. So, through all of that, Austin Shaw, the third Wildcats player in team history to head to the Ivy League. That'll wrap it up here on the Intermission Report. We'll probably post that interview online for later listening, and we'll also have more sit-downs with more players throughout the year when the situation warrants it. But suffice it to say, that will do it for us in the Intermission Report. When we come back, we'll have the third period of action. We'll see if it will be decisive on the other side of the break here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing continues just after this. Minutes of hockey in the books at the K. Yeager Coliseum. 20 minutes still remaining here on a Friday evening in Wichita Falls. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network as Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing moves on into the third period here. Two teams deadlocked, 2 goals apiece thus far. Goals from Kyle Steffen for Rio Grande Valley, both of them. Goals from Austin Albrecht and Colin Staub for the Cats. Teams will change ends. It will be David Zevnik in the cage to my right. Cat skating from right to left across your screen. P to Q across your keyboard. Coming back the other way naturally are the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. Q to P across your keyboard and left to right across your screen. No carryover penalties or power plays to speak of. As we enter this third period of action, will it be decisive? We'll find out. As it looks like it'll be Sherazin, Farmer, and Albrecht out there to start for the Wildcats, along with Chernyuk and Townsend on the blue line. They'll be going against Steffen, Balsamo, Zumalitis, Ademarifi, and Evan Bell for Rio. Farmer and Balsamo brought together in the circle. The puck is down. We are underway, and off the faceoff, Rio controls in the third period, brought to you by American Classified. Bell will move this one ahead. Over the red line. He'll send this one in deep. Zevnik out of his cage to leave it there for Chernyuk, who wraps it around the near side boards. Unable to clear, though, are the Wildcats. Balsamo hacking it along. Steffen with a shot, and a good cancel job there done by Sherazin as he got a stick in the way to cancel the shot. Serve back in from outside the blue line to the far side corner. Outlet pass is up ahead and taken here by Albrecht. He fights through the check, maintains possession. Albrecht chips it towards the front. Nobody there in time. Now Sherazin on the near side tries to spin it back down low for Albrecht, but he wasn't able to reach him. Knight out of midair, not by a high stick, says the referee, so play continues as this is played wide of the cage of David Zevnik. He'll sweep this one away from traffic as Cam Knight circles back, takes it in his own zone, and now he'll hustle up the right wing wall. Serve back to the near side for Beaulieu. Beaulieu walking towards the middle. Now here's Staub. Couldn't settle a bouncing puck as Staub is working on a two-point night. Staub, backhander, down low. Apap couldn't direct it behind Nick Schmidt, who had left some room at the left-hand post, and Rio will look to outlet. Too far, and this will be icing as Parker Wood wasn't able to get any wood on it. And we'll get the icing here. 18:53 remaining in the third period. And special teams, the difference in this one thus far. Both teams with a power play goal to their credit. Both teams with an even strength goal to their credit as well. However, the Wildcats have killed off 3 other penalties. And Rio Grande Valley has killed off a couple as well, including a decent length 5-on-3 in that second period. Bit of confusion here between the officials. We'll finally get back to it. It'll be APAP to take the draw, going against Dean Balsamo. Tied up off the draw. Staub at the far side. He'll play it down to Beaulieu in the corner. Staub gets it back. Fighting through the check of Waylon Williams. Now Williams rolls him into the boards. Nice defensive job done there by Wayland, the one-time Amarillo Bulls skater, as this is knocked down out of midair nicely by Matt Cook and is in the neutral zone. Pass up ahead. APAP tucks it along for Beaulieu. Rather, that was Beaulieu tucking it along for APAP, vice versa, as I had it. But the Wildcats lose possession. Staub, the lone man, in on the forecheck as they work on a chain. Falconer coming down the wall. Can't hold the zone. Yeager will get it in the neutral ice and swing it along to Cam Knight. His slap shot wide of the cage, rolls off the back of it, comes off to the near side, where Oakley can't chip it down, looking for someone in the corner. Racing away, here's Balsamo. Rather, this is Gerard's. His shot blocked, goes wide and behind the cage. Knight is without his twig. Oakley will skate onto the loose puck on the far side half wall in his own zone and motor forward. Here's Oakley down the middle, gives it to Yeager. Yeager waiting for some support. Now he's walled off it here as this is chipped past Scatliff. Bringing it forward, here's Wendling. Inside Kuzmeski. Wendling with a shot, and it goes up high and gets the glass after Kuzmeski got turned around a little bit. Oakley has some trouble, but Scatliff there to support. He'll give it back to Kuzmeski as Shane will look to outlet quickly. His pass was ambitious and kept in by Rio Grande Valley. Shot blocked. Rebound. Bennett. And a save by Zevnik with a great move from right to left. Fresh from the bench, Zach Bennett wired one towards the cage on a one-timer from the top of the right circle. And Zevnik, moving from right to left, trapped it between his left arm and the body. 17:34. We play on. Tied up at 2 goals apiece. Faceoff coming to the left of Zevnik there, but Kuzmeski with a ambitious outlet pass that got intercepted, almost put the Wildcats behind. This one is behind the net of Zevnik, having to hustle over to the far side to meet it there for the Wildcats, but then it's served right back to the near side. Sherzin, this one is popped up into the air and works its way along to Konstantin Chernyuk, who will get to the red line and one-hand this one in deep. First to it here is Rio. Nice job here, Sherzin in front. Albrecht's shot, and that was blocked there in front on a good stick given by Christopher DePrez. Here's Sherzin once more. Looking forward is Albrecht. Up to the point. Here's Chernyuk. Chernyuk back to the near side for Townsend. Townsend lost it in his skates. Farmer wasn't able to come along to help out, as this is J.B. Baker ladling it softly forward as both teams will start up a change. Farmer behind the cage of Zevnik here as a forechecker peels off. Banked up ahead to Bolio. Here's Bolio leading it forward for Staub just ahead of him. Staub, bad angle look, save there. He'll get it right back, tuck it in front. Bolio scores! 5-hole. There was some room left down low at ice level. Bolio exploited it, and that is a Cats lead. This line of Bolio, Apap, and Staub has just been unbelievable here tonight. Oh, the Wildcats lead 3-2. 16:38 remaining in the third period. So for Bolio, that'll be point number 3 on the night. For Staub, that will be point number 3 on the night, as we'll get you what that updated total is the next time we get a play stoppage. As we're back to play here, Staub ties his man up and tries to sweep this one home. Bolio will race after this one, upended, coincidentally, said the referee, so we play on with no penalty. Waylon Williams swerved this one around the boards. It's cleared out into the neutral zone, and Cook punches at it, but punches it into the Rio bench area. So Bolio gets the goal. That is goal number 10 on the year. He is one behind Kevin Sherzin now. That is point number 3 on the night. That will make him the first to 20 points. By the way, just to clarify, that goal from Albrecht should be listed as Staub and Bolio. It is currently listed as Staub and Apap, as Wood gains his own shot, saved by Zevnik, and he'll cover the rebound, as there's a little bit extra, and you can expect that for the remainder of the evening. 16:07 remaining in the third. So Bolio from Staub and Apap at 3:22 of the third gives the Cats their first lead of the night. Goal number 10 on the year for Bolio, and with the other 2 assists he has tonight, point number 20 on the year, even at 10 goals and 10 assists. For Staub, he is now up to 17 points on the year. Apap, with the assist, will shift on up to 14 with 12 assists. Fighting through the check, here is Albrecht off the face-off, but he couldn't win this one. Tries to pick a pocket. Instead, it's played softly back up to the point by Girards. Girards, it's served all the way down low. Connor Wood there on the far side corner. Left it along for Wendling, as Wendling and Reisinger cancel out, and it's motored forward. Here's Albrecht as Farmer gains his own to his right. Albrecht looked to drop for Farmer there, but he overskated it as this one squirts towards the crease, and Schmidt will cover. 15:44 remaining in the third period. Cats now holding a 3-2 lead thanks to Austin Bolio's third period goal, and that's good news for the Wildcats. When he has a point, Wichita Falls is 12-0-0. Wait, that's also point number 15 at home. Kuzmeski towards the net, and making the save there was Schmidt, as Farmer and Reisinger were camped out in front. Interesting that we're seeing Farmer, Reisinger, and Albrecht out there. That's a bit of a shuffle. Reisinger looks like he's moving up there to skate in place of Sherzin. Max has had a fairly solid game on both sides of the puck thus far. Doesn't have too much to show for his efforts, but he has been good, as this is Albrecht. Softly back to Kuzmeski. Kuzmeski thought about a shot. The shooting lane was closed quickly, as now this is motored ahead to J.B. Baker. Back and covering is Skatliff, and the shot and a blocker save there by Zevnik. And then he's given a little extra shot after the play, as Baker came in and buzzed the net. No pun intended. 15:26 remaining as the Wildcats lead 3-2 over the Killer Bees. Shots on goal in this one, 30-19, according to the big board here at the KYC. Face off to the left of Zevnik. Jaeger false start off the draw. Samek will reset them both. One by the Wildcats in the corner. Oakley chips it off to the near side. Parker Wood tries to fling it towards the net, but it squirts loose, and Yeager will work it up ahead to Townsend. Townsend with a quick look up the ice. He'll try to skate around one man. Dipsy doodled his way inside Abbott. Holding the zone nicely here are the Wildcats. This is played up into the high slot. Holding the zone, but colliding there was Oakley and Townsend, as now this is gloved down in his own zone by Alex Falconer. Falconer tries to play a quick pass along, looking for Oakley, who had stretched out. Instead, it's off a stick and will be landing on the blade of Townsend. Townsend's pass, ambitious, nice poke there by Oakley to get it along to Falconer, who will gain the zone. Here's Falconer looking to drop pass, now a shot, deflects and goes away to the far side corner. Slammed around the near side wall. Knight has to take this in the neutral zone. He's under a whole lot of pressure there. Good work on him as Yeager comes back to support. Balsamo takes it away. Balsamo with a step. Saved by Zevnik. It was sitting loose in the crease. Rio still has it, but Steffen put it right on the blade of Falconer. Falconer gives it along to Oakley. Oakley over to the right wing side where it's picked up by Yeager. Yeager's shot, and that is deflected into the protective netting, and we will get the whistle. 14-19 remaining in the third, as Dean Balsamo almost stepped away for a good look on Zevnik. Doing just enough to cancel him out was the Wildcats' back checker. That was just enough to see the chance go by the wayside. Face up to the left of Schmidt. This is Kevin Clare for Rio Grande Valley. He'll clear it as this is up ahead as the Bees look to start it forward as Bennett gains his own. He'll slam on the brakes, play it towards the net. Zevnik with a good reaction save there to knock it aside. Here's Beaulieu. He'll get the puck and ladle it into some space. Apap tied up, but Beaulieu comes along to collect and start the rush forward. No harm, no foul. Beaulieu dangling around one, now around two, getting up some speed. Here's Beaulieu back to the top of the zone. Cook, slap shot, deflecting around there, and Schmidt had to react there to stick this one away to the corner. Beaulieu is tied up as Apap is in the front, and Staub comes into support, trying to work this one loose. Click is back there tying him up along with Kevin Clare as a two-a-side battle ensues in the last 13:35 of the third. Cats would love an insurance goal here, and this is the line that has been providing a lot of the offense. Here's Staub, shot, toe save there by Schmidt. Beaulieu trying to pick up the rebound. Clare the first to it here. Staub gets it in front for Beaulieu. Instead, it's up to Cook. Cook towards the net. Off a leg and goes wide. Staub poking at this one there. It's behind the net still. Apap around the boards for Staub. Staub, nice move there to hold the zone. Gives to Apap, who touches it towards the crease. Staub was gassed, couldn't get there. Schmidt covers up anyway. 13-12 remaining in the third period. Score remains 3-2 in favor of the Wildcats on Austin Beaulieu's tally of the campaign. Face-off will be to the left of Schmidt when we get back to it here. Shots on goal. It's been a cagey third period thus far. 4-3 in favor of the Wildcats. 31-20 in favor of the Cats on the game. Albrecht will take the draw here. Back of the cage momentarily, but Waylon Williams picks it up for Rio Grande Valley and plays it to Connor Wood. Wood up ahead to Wendling. Chips this one towards the cage of Zevnik. He'll stick it alertly away from a lively Karam as Connor Wood tries to get in front of Sherzin. Sherzin hauled him down to the ice. No call forthcoming, but Wood gets it back. Can't force it towards the middle quite yet. It's still bouncing around here. Trying to work it loose is Kosmeski, and he finally does as it squirts free to the near side, but still the Cats can't clear. But we get a whistle. As they say, I think that might have hit somebody. Ooh, a little bit extra here. Sherzin and Wendling getting acquainted. Pleasantries exchanged. I'm sure it was very civil down there between those two. 12:46 remaining in the third period. And we'll get a face-off coming. Where will they put it? Looks like they're going to put it in the neutral zone here. No, they'll hold it down low as the Wildcats cleared that into their own bench area without a deflection. Face-off to the left of Zevnik. 12:46 remaining in the third period. Cats hold a slim 3-2 lead on Austin Beaulieu's goal. One back cleanly to the point. Here's Bell's shot. Glove saved by Zevnik. Saw it all the way. 12:42 now remaining in the third as that one took 4 seconds off the clock. Bell playing in game number 19 on the year, yet to record a goal. He was looking for something through traffic there as that was not at a height trying to score a goal himself. Off to the right of Zevnik once more. Looking to take the draw. Here is Yeager. Yeager washed out as he was a little early and then knocked himself off balance. So it will be, looks like, Falconer to step in. Wildcats forward lines are all jumbled up here right now as this is back to the point. Bell stepping in, slap shot wide of the cage, hammers off the back wall and out to the near side. Oakley with a good bump given to his man. That was a Demarifi as Knight has it in his own zone behind the cage. Kicked along to Cook. Softly along the kick plate to Oakley, who touches it but not out into the neutral zone. Behind the cage with it here are the Bees, looking to spin it out in front. Was a man down low. That was Zumalides. It's behind the cage for Cam Knight, who gives it hard along to Matt Cook. Over to Falconer, and now chipped in deep here by Yeager. Back to the near side it comes. Oakley can't win this puck race as Stefan chips this one forward. Nice work there by Yeager to disrupt things as Bell hammers this one well wide of the cage. Awkward bounce off of glass support. Sees it carom hard and hot to the near side corner as this one is ramped up the glass and out by Jake Townsend. Under 12 remaining in this third period. Wildcats holding a slim one-goal lead. One-goal games have been an MO of the Killer Bees this year. They played in 9 of them thus far. Bolio chips this one forward, and it's a foot race. Bolio, backhander, and he sent it wide of the blue paint. Townsend, slap shot, and he hammered it wide of the cage. He got all of that one as this one is on the stick of Townsend once more in the neutral zone. Parker Wood has to curl back with the puck to keep play on side as Crossan was in ahead of the play. As this is on the stick of Rob Click, floated well wide of the cage of Zevnik. As Andrew Green comes in to put Townsend under some pressure, he'll leave it along for Chernyuk. Chernyuk quickly along for Townsend. Townsend, dangerous pass is collected by Apap, as Apap will send this one in deep and come to the bench for a change. Around the glass and all the way down. This will not be icing here as Scatliff will have to play it in his own zone. Quickly along to Shane Kosmeski. Now back to Scatliff. Had it skip over his stick. Staub hammers at this one. The turned over. Now in the high slot shot. Save and blocked. Connor Wood with it. Scatliff will knock it away. Only as far as the point and Abbott. Blocked down once more as this could be a 2-on-1 as Farmer looks to leak out with Reisinger. Here's Farmer on the right wing side. Top of the circle. Farmer, toe drag. Couldn't pull the trigger and another chance and he still couldn't pull the trigger as he had his stick slashed out of his hands. In the neutral zone. Settled down by Shane Kosmeski. He has some pressure with it. Wood beat him. Kosmeski gets his stick back in the way as now Kosmeski has to take a penalty as trying to touch up here is Scatliff and Kosmeski finally does, but still will play on. Into the high slot, bouncing around down low. Trying to touch up are the Wildcats on a delayed penalty, and finally Kosmeski will. 10-12 remaining in the third. It'll be a slash and call against Shane Kosmeski. As the Wildcats weren't able to clear the zone, 10-12 remaining in the third, and it was an interesting sequence down to our left just a moment before. Farmer slammed on the brakes as he tried to toe drag around a man who had sprawled out. Then as he was trying to pull his trigger, I thought he had his stick slashed from behind, so that could have been a minor there. Krasnichuk let it go and then decided to call a similar minor at the other end. That has the Wildcats shorthanded on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. For the fourth time this evening, they are 2 for 3 thus far, and they will take a timeout with 10-12 remaining in the third because they need to get their bodies rested for just a minute, get the guys a breather so they can get the top PK unit out there. Let's take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard while we have a second, at least at the ones that matter in the South Division. At last check, Lone Star was leading Amarillo 1-0. It is now 4-2 in the second intermission at the NYTEC Center in favor of the Brahmas. They look to make it 8 in a row and 11 of their last 12. Topeka up 2-0 on Springfield. They're underway in the third period there in Topeka, the Kansas capital, hosting their first Roadrunners game since October the 12th. Oddly enough, a 10-game swing for Topeka on the highways of the Midwest. And in Corpus Christi, 6-2 with the Ice Rays leading the Odessa Jackalopes. And as the Jackalopes continue to spiral their way farther and farther and farther down the standings, you wonder at what point Greg Gatto has to start looking over his shoulder. Yes, it's its first year, but they've now lost 7 straight. Off the face-off, it's one and a shot, saved and held by Zevnik, coming from the stick of Stefan, who's still looking for his hat trick here. But what you saw right there was a much better effort from the Wildcats to fight through the check on the face-off and put the man with the puck under some pressure. Face-off to the right of Zevnik now. 9:47 of the third. Shane Kosmeski, 2 for slashing. That has the Wildcats on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill. Off the face-off, Cam Knight hammers this one high off the glass and all the way down. Good kill from Cam. This one behind his cage as looking to swoop onto this one and bring it forward is Waylon Williams. Williams will motor forward, now gives it off to the right side for Kyle Steffen. Steffen gains his own, backing his man down. Steffen drops it off to the far side half wall, tries to get it back. Knight got in his way. Off to the far side towards the net and looking for someone in front there were the Killer Bees. Balsamo played up to Williams at the point. Williams spins away from Staub and protects. Now has it and gives to Balsamo at the circle. Balsamo loading, looking for the far side. Zevnik was screened and the shot went well wide of the cage. Trying to walk towards the middle now was Steffen. Shot is blocked there and Staub will clear this one all the way down the ice. Minute 6 remaining in the penalty to Kosmeski. 9:15 remaining in the third. Back here is Evan Bell directing traffic here as Parker Wood came back to help out as well. Headman pass up the ice, hits Croston in stride, trying to get around Cam Knight in a great diving play with the stick. He got all of the puck and knocked that one clean off, and the Wildcats send it down. Great play by Cam Knight. He knew Croston was going to beat him for speed, so he sold out and made that play. 8:53 remaining in the third. 40 seconds remaining in the minor to Kosmeski. Parker Wood gains his own. Townsend can't reach a loose puck. It's a drop pass. Now looking to play behind. It's Parker Wood. Up to the point and Trevor Abbott once more. Now to Wood once more. Parker Wood down low towards the corner for Croston. He's put under pressure by Cook. To the blue line. It's Abbott. Holding. Shot through traffic. Saved by Zevnik. Puck still loose and it pops high and wide of the cage. And losing sight of it was Krasnichuk, and Zevnik made one of the nicest saves he's made in his Wildcats career. It was deflected. He knocked aside the first attempt. It was sitting loose in the blue paint, and as he was still sliding left to right, he scrambled onto his left side and got his glove on that puck. They're showing the replay here. It was a shot deflected. He made the save, and right in front was Parker Wood, waiting for the easiest tap-in of his life. Here's a quick shot, saved by Zevnik. The puck is loose in the high slot again, and saved by Zevnik. Scatliff hammers it down, and it's off a stick and into the neutral zone. 8:20 remaining in the third. Zevnik putting on a good show in this third period on the power play as we are back to 5-on-5 hockey as Kosmeski is out of the box. Good kill by the Wildcats as Zevnik stood strong to help that one along. Here is Steffen in the corner. He'll curl back. Feeds it to the high slot. Williams with a shot blocker save there by Zevnik. Townsend under some pressure. Hit hard into the back wall. First to it here is Parker Wood. Rather, this is Dean Balsamo walking towards the middle. His shot is saved, knocked away, and it's sent behind the cage. Townsend the first to it here. He'll chip it high up into the air. This will come up well short of icing. As back to get this one is Ademarifi in front of Eric Yeager. Reisinger settles. Reisinger to Yeager in the high slot. Yeager holding on it. Gives to Reisinger as those two clump up on the far side half wall. 7:35 remaining in the third. APAP trying to dig it loose as the Cats are in the midst of a change in the offensive zone. Loose. APAP and Reisinger step onto it. Reisinger, APAP once more. Puck loose. Reisinger, and the penalty will be upcoming against the Killer Bees. And finally, we'll get the whistle. Reisinger was hooked, and we'll get the call. 7:20 remaining in the third. After a great penalty kill on the Gilmore's Collision Center penalty kill, the Wildcats will head back to the power play, where they are 1 for 4 tonight. Sitting in the box was J.B. Baker, I believe. No, check that. It is Christopher DePrez. So the Cats will head to the power play. They have a power play goal in 7 straight, including one in the first period here tonight. APAP, Beaulieu, Staub, Albrecht, and Cam Knight out there, with Albrecht earning himself some power play time on the point. Quick conversation between Krasnichuk and Joe Coombs. Back to play. Not sure what Coombs was unhappy about on that sprawling play by Knight a few minutes ago. He was irate, but it was a good clean play. As off the faceoff, it's back to Knight at the blue line on the Cats power play. Knight holding on it, serves down low, and now at top of the circle, Beaulieu gives it back to Knight. Knight still holding, now to Albrecht at the corner. Albrecht looks to play to Beaulieu. Instead, it's down low for APAP. APAP tied up there, and he can't work it along quite yet. Albrecht getting involved as he'll try to work himself some space to play it up to the corner. Beaulieu getting involved as well as Albrecht has it. It's skipping along here, and Knight will step down, collect, retreat to the blue line. However, he's able to hold his own once more, but on a second attempt, Rio will finally kick it loose. Staub Beaulieu looking to step onto this one and race forward and does. Beaulieu, another move here. Beaulieu again. Now it's Albrecht again. Albrecht looking to tuck it back out in front. He'll take it behind. Stumbles a bit to Staub in the left circle. Staub holding top of the circle. His shot in and out of the glove there. It's still loose. Staub follows up. Beaulieu loading. Holds. Again his shot blocked. Staub once more. He'll spin down low with it. It's towards the corner. First of this one is Kevin Clare, and it's cleared all the way down. 55 seconds remaining in the Wildcats power play. 6:10 remaining in the third. They still hold a 3-2 lead as Knight steps out from behind the cage of Zevnik. Knight deliberately holds on the puck and gives to Farmer. Nice move to Litviak in front. His shot, and he whistled it wide. Sherzan picks up the loose disc on the near side. He took a little bump up high, feeds it down low for Farmer. Farmer looking to settle. Now Jaeger, his shot, and a save there by Schmidt. I don't know if he knew too much about that one as he was screened. Here's Litviak. Rolls it behind the net for Farmer. Farmer looking to feed it to the top of the zone and Cook in the last 20. Here's Cook. Now it's Farmer, top of the circle. His shot saved there by Schmidt. Sticked up and comes to the near side corner in the last 15 of the Wildcats power play. In the last 5.5 minutes of the third period, Litviak behind the net. It's loose in front and Farmer couldn't pull the trigger. He'll hustle along and hold the zone. It's in front. Litviak holding. Litviak shot saved by Schmidt, and he'll swallow up the rebound between his legs as now Sherzan is pulled out from the pile by Kevin Clare. And Kevin Clare is going to go. I don't know if Sherzan's going to go as well, but Krasnichuk is pointing at Kevin Clare and pointing towards the box. There's just 1 second remaining on the minor to Christopher Deprez. There's 5:20 remaining in the third. The Wildcats lead 3-2, and it looks like Sherzan, and no, check that, it wasn't Deprez, it was Click. They'll both get 2 minutes for roughing. 5:20 remaining in the third. So those two will cancel each other out. We'll be back to 5-on-5 hockey in just a second here. There is 1 second remaining. And the penalty to Deprez. The Wildcats with some good puck movement, but unable to find the back of the net quite yet. Faceoff will be to the right of Schmidt here. Schmidt having a word with Rishatel, the linesman, about something here. Now, Krasnichuk skates over the scoring table. Ben Horner with you on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. The Cats lead 3-2 with 5:20 remaining in the third. Click and Sherzan have both been given 2-minute minors for roughing. Delay of game roughing, same idea really. So it looks like we are set to go. There's some trouble getting Sherzan's penalty up on the board. Up will be to the right of Schmidt. Still, they are not able to get Sherzan's penalty up on the board. That is the holdup here right now, as we are in the closing stages of the third period. Wildcats had a couple of great looks, but you do have to give credit to the Killer Bees sprawling out in the shooting lanes to make it very difficult for the Cats to get clean looks on net. Shots on goal in this third period, fairly even, 9-8 in favor of the Wildcats. So they're just going to let the scorekeepers figure this one out. As the faceoff will be to the right of Schmidt. As it's right in front, and it's sent wide of the cage by Oakley after Schmidt lost his twig. It's played out and up ahead. Townsend hustling to meet this one just in front of the sin bin. Oakley couldn't pull it free ahead of Wendling, as now Wendling is tied up. Down goes Krasnichuk, will play on. Gaining the zone here is Rio. Trying to play it towards the middle was a man on the far side. Townsend got in the way. Townsend bumped along behind the net. Charniak with some trouble with it. It's behind the net. Kicking it free there nicely was Falconer, and Reisinger feeds it along. His pass was intercepted briefly, but now Townsend works it ahead to Falconer. His shot saved. Rebound spilled. Reisinger on a bad angle look, and that one is knocked away to the glass off the stick of Schmidt. 4:40 remaining in the third as we skate 5-on-5. The Cats lead 3-2. Off the shoulder of Zevnik. It's loose in the slot. Here's Balsamo towards the front of the net. They score! 4:32 remaining in the third period, and the Wildcats have given up the lead. It's 3-3. Zevnik couldn't handle that shot cleanly. as Zumalitis gets the goal. Hate to be harsh on Dave, but he put that one in a juicy area at a time when the Wildcats really needed him to control that puck. So we're back at level, 3 apiece. Gaining the zone here, Staub. Staub hacked off it. Kuzmeski will gain the zone and give down low. Here's Staub getting it back. Staub shot, and that goes high and gets the glass. Scatliff chips down low for Staub once more. Staub spins it looking for APAP. Now he's tied up. Waiting to support there is APAP. 2-a-side battle in the last 4:05 of the third. Trying to work it free in doing so are the Killer Bees as they will look to skate it forward. Bringing it up ahead is Balsamo. His shot sticked away there by Zevnik. Off to the near side. First of this one are the Wildcats, but in the neutral zone, it's picked up by Ademarifi. His pass almost intercepted by Staub, but Waylon Williams got there. This one is ramped in. No icing here, as Kuzmeski will be the first to meet it, and he'll play it along to Albrecht. Albrecht, nice little stick move to get himself out of the zone and hustle ahead into some space. Albrecht gains his zone. Shot towards the net, goes high, gets the glass. Near side, slap shot, Litviak save. Litviak hauled down to the ice, spins it in front. Puck is loose and Schmidt covers. 3:26 remaining in the third period. Wildcats now even, 3 goals apiece. 3:26 remaining in the third. Media timeout here, and Wildcats have certainly had their chances in the early stages of this third period. They had plenty of looks. Litviak had a good look down low as well, and he sent it wide of the cage. And for Litviak, it's just not going his way right now. He's got 9 points on the year, but none in his last 5. As he's going to break that duck here tonight and didn't do himself a whole lot of favor there. They're skating 5-on-5 with the Wildcats and Bees locked up 3 goals apiece. What it's worth, Wildcats' first lead of the game that had been erased. Faceoff will be to the right of Schmidt. Farmer will take the draw. And this is a Killer Bees team that has started to play tighter defense in their own zone, a bit desperate on the defense, but they've gotten the job done as this is one cleanly back to Knight, who gives it along to Cook. Quick shot, well high and wide of the cage, and that gets the glass. Off to the far side, Litviak, nice job to cancel his man out. Here it's still Litviak, now it's Knight, top of the zone, backdoor pass, looking for Litviak. It's caroming around here, and it's taken to the far side wall. Farmer couldn't hold this one in. Stepping back to collect was Matt Cook in the last 3:03 of the third. Farmer turns up ice, has it intercepted. Bees have the zone, but they lose the puck as this is Albrecht. Look out. And that goes straight out of play, and now the Cats have to deal with a defensive zone faceoff. Faceoff will be to the left of Zevnik. At this Sumalitis, his goal from Dean Balsamo at 15:26 has us tied up at 3 goals apiece. Samek backing a couple of guys up in the faceoff as it's won, as it's loose in the dot, trying to pull it free. Here is Cook, and it's forced along there by Farmer as Albrecht brings it forward. Litviak couldn't grab this one. Wendling serves it right back in and will go in after it. And now Cook is going to get, or Cam's going to get a penalty. And touching up here or trying to are the Wildcats, but a delayed penalty on here. And Litviak will gain the zone and then takes a slash there from Girard's. But Knight's going to get a penalty. It's going to be interference here. And the Wildcats are going to be short-handed. 2:34 remaining in the third period. One of their best defensemen now heading towards the box. 3-3 the score. The Cats have led for the majority of this third, but Zumalitis' goal has tied it up at 3 apiece, and now the Bees have their 4th power play of the night, 5th power play of the night. They're 1 for 4 thus far. Bolio would take the draw. Face off. in the near side corner. Kuzmeski slams it, but not all the way down. Can't work it free. Now it's Beaulieu. Hacked away. Now it's a short-handed rush. Kuzmeski all alone. In on goal. Save there by Schmidt. He was trying to go 5-hole. Worked up to the near side. Here are the Bees coming right back the other way. It's Balsamo gaining the zone. Balsamo back to the near point. Williams skates down past Beaulieu. Stick handle move. He's around behind the net. Zevnik moving from left to right. Waylon Williams looking to play it behind the net. Now forced back there by Townsend as a loose puck squirts free. Held in here by the Killer Bees. It's in the corner. Townsend and Stop hustling after a loose puck as this is Townsend sending it down all the way. 1:50 remaining in the third. Schmidt leaves this one behind. Kuzmeski had the game on his stick a moment ago and wasn't able to beat Schmidt short-handed on a clean breakaway. Intercepted here by Farmer. Now Farmer may have a step. Farmer on Bell. Farmer trying to pull it around Schmidt there, and a penalty upcoming here. Is it a penalty? It is a penalty shot. Penalty shot. 90 seconds remaining in the third, and the Wildcats are going to have a penalty shot. It was a slash on Farmer as he cut towards the middle, and the Wildcats short-handed for the next 56 seconds have a penalty shot to try and take the lead with 90 seconds remaining in the third. High drama here at the K. Yeager Coliseum. Farmer has 3 goals in his last 2 games. Scored a beauty of a shootout goal in Tuesday's win. Penalty shot with 90 seconds remaining. Farmer against Schmidt. Big moment in this contest. Farmer staring down Schmidt. Waits for the referee's whistle. He'll get it. It's all on Farmer and all on Schmidt. Down the middle comes Farmer. Slowly, now speeding up. Farmer scores! He scored on the penalty shot. The Wildcats lead 4-3 with 90 seconds to go. A short-handed penalty shot. And it is 4-3. So 90 seconds for the Cats to hold on to this one. They have to kill another 56 seconds. Schmidt got most of it, but it trickled through his 5-hole as he stood back up. If he had stayed down on the ice in the butterfly, he might have kept it from trickling free, but instead, here are the Wildcats looking to kill this one off, and you can be sure that they'll pull Schmidt soon enough. 1:20 remaining in the third. Looking to rush it ahead. Here's Waylon Williams. Williams chips it along. Townsend first to this one. He'll slam this high up off the glass. Couldn't clear on his second attempt. He'll clear it all the way down. 70 seconds remaining. Schmidt at the top of the blue paint, waiting for the call from the bench to come for the extra attacker. A minute remaining. We're in the last minute of play in the third, brought to you by La Quinta Inns and Suites, and Cook sweeps it down the ice. 20 seconds remaining in the penalty to Cam Knight. 53 seconds remaining in the third period. Wildcats holding a 4-3 lead after Nick Farmer scored on a penalty shot as coming to the bench. Here is Schmidt, wide of the cage. Cook flubs the clearance attempt, held in by Waylon Williams at the point. Williams wanting a one-timer. Here's Arifi. His shot blocked by Farmer. Arifi gets it back again, and another sliding block by Farmer. Arifi once more. Top of the circle, through the back door. Balsamo and a glove save by Zevnik. Are you kidding me? David Zevnik with a huge glove save to keep this one at 4-3 Wildcats. What a save by David Zevnik. Might have just saved the game, and we're going to get a timeout, Rio Grande Valley. 30.1 seconds remaining in this third period. Wildcats leading 4-3, but were it not for the big catching glove of David Zevnik, as we see it here, that was Balsamo on the back door. He pulled the trigger cleanly. Zevnik got over and just robbed him blind. David Zevnik having a very strong performance here. Well, if there was any blame that could have been attached to him for that game-tying goal to make it 3-3, he certainly just redeemed himself. Faceoff will be to the left of Zevnik. The cage to my left is empty. Nick Schmidt is on the bench for Rio Grande Valley as they have 6 attackers on. Apep, Farmer, Yeager, Cook, and Knight, along with Colin Staub, as Apep will now come to the bench. Steffen, Croston, Wendling, Wood, Wayland Williams, and Evan Bell out there for Rio Grande Valley. Huge draw here for Eric Yeager. It's won here by Rio. Back to the point for Evan Bell. Bell, he'll play across ice. Here's Wayland Williams. Back to Bell, top of the zone. Bell holding on a slap shot. Toe save there by Zevnik off to the near side. Trying to clear out are the Cats, and it's ramped up the glass. Played by a high stick, and we get the whistle. 14.7 seconds remaining. It's played by a high stick of Rio. That will send it all the way down to the Wildcats' offensive zone. Schmidt will have to step back into his cage. We are back to 5-on-5 hockey as the Wildcats had killed that one off with 14.7 ticks left to go in this third period. Oh boy, what a game here. Yeager to take the draw. If he can win it, it's towards the corner. Williams hammers this one around the boards. Trying to meet it there was Crossan. It's chipped forward. Knight gets turned around a little bit, but he sweeps it not out. Oh wow, did they get lucky. That puck never crossed the blue line. Making the call from well behind the play was Michael Samick. 3.5 seconds remaining in the third. Someone's going to get a penalty for barking at the official. It's Wayland Williams. That's inconsequential right now. And now for slapping his stick against the board, he'll just skate on over and take an early shower. 3.5 seconds remaining. It looks like the Wildcats might have stolen this one. Farmer scored on a penalty shot with 90 seconds remaining. Williams takes the lonely stroll to the locker room. The Wildcats will look to cancel out this face-off and let the last few seconds tick away. What a third period. And by the way, we should mention that before Farmer scored on that penalty shot, Shane Kuzmeski had a breakaway as well. Shorthanded, he had the game on his stick. Schmidt made the save, and then Farmer saw some room 5-0 on his penalty shot, and it just trickled over the line. Krasnichuk was right on top of it, emphatic. Schmidt never really knew where it was. So Schmidt will come to the bench, an extra attacker out there, or should be out there. Schmidt came to the bench. No one has stepped on, so there's only 5 guys on for the Killer Bees. Confusion here as Crossan was going to come to the bench. Now he'll stay out there. Shorthanded are the Bees. 3.5 seconds remaining. It's one back, and that will do it. The Wildcats will skate away with 2 points against the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees here tonight. David Zevnik makes some big saves when he has to, and Nick Farmer with 30 seconds, check that, 90 seconds remaining in the third period, scores on a penalty shot. His 4th goal in 3 games to give the Wildcats the 4-3 win here tonight. We will step aside when we come back. We'll put the wrap on this one as the Wildcats skate away winners in an entertaining contest between them and the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. We'll be back to put the closing touches on this one in just a moment on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network. Back here at the K. Yeager Coliseum, we put the wrap on this one. A thrilling 4-3 win for the Wildcats in regulation tonight, thanks to Nick Farmer's penalty shot goal with 90 seconds remaining in the third period. Stands as the game winner as we get the 3 stars of tonight's contest. We'll let you know those in just a second. First, let's get to the scoring summary here before we step off air. In the first period, Kyle Stefan got it going for Rio Grande Valley. He scored on the power play as he made it 1-0 at 12:48 of the first. The problem with that goal was it came as a result of the Wildcats not fighting hard enough to get the puck out of the defensive zone off a clean face-off win for Rio Grande Valley. He had all the time in the world to shoot past Sevnik, picked his spot well, and beat him just inside the left post. That made it 1-0, but that was fairly short-lived as the Wildcats responded with the power play tally of their own. Austin Albrecht picked up his 4th goal of the year from Colin Staub and Austin Beaulieu after Beaulieu played it down from the top of the left circle to Staub at the goal line. Staub backed his way towards the goal and then spun a blind backhand pass to Austin Albrecht, who was waiting at the bottom of the right wing circle to slam it home into the empty net. That made it 1-1, but that scoreline was short-lived as well, as barely 90 seconds later, Kyle Steffen scored to make it 2-1 on his second tally of the period. And again, this one was born out of a defensive zone faceoff for the Wildcats. Rio got the win cleanly on the draw, and then fighting his way across the net was Kyle Stefan, and that was enough as he waited just enough Sevnik to be sprawled out. We'll step aside quickly here and come back for the end of this one of the pregame wrap. Beg pardon for that little interruption as we continue on the scoring summary here. So it was 2-1 Rio entering the second period as the Wildcats really turned on the offensive pressure in that second period. 18-9 were the shots on goal in favor of the Cats in that period, and they would tie it up on Colin Staub's 5th goal of the year in that second period at 12:37 of the middle frame, and that one born out of some good work along the left wing side. Colin Staub started it as he raced over to beat Waylon Williams to a loose puck. Those two canceled, but Beaulieu was following the play nicely. He served it back from the left wing side, back to the near side for Eric Yeager, fresh from the bench. Yeager's little slap shot was awkwardly spilled by Nick Schmidt, and that allowed Staub, who had gotten back into the play from the left wing wall and was skating towards the middle, to hack at that one and put it up over the shoulder of Schmidt to make it 2-2. In the third, the Wildcats took an early lead at 3:22 of the frame. Austin Beaulieu picked up his 10th goal of the year, one behind Sherzan for the team lead now. That one coming from Colin Staub and Tommy Apap as Beaulieu just snuck it through the 5-hole of Schmidt. I'll say this, Schmidt gave up some goals that he really will not be happy with tonight. So that's where it stayed for the remainder of the majority of that third period until with 15:26, Rio picked up their 3rd goal. Stathis Sumulidis scored to make it 3-3. For what it's worth, that was Sumulidis' 8th goal of the year. That one came after a big shot was spilled by Zevnik as picking up the rebound was Balsamo. He dangled around one man and played it off to Stathis Sumulidis, who tucked it inside an unguarded left-hand post of Zevnik. Zevnik would redeem himself later on, though. More on that in a second. But as the game wound to a close and the Wildcats were shorthanded, they had a couple of great opportunities to send the Cats fans home happy. First, it was Shane Kuzmeski. He raced away on a shorthanded breakaway and was stonewalled as he tried to go 5-hole. But then Nick Farmer intercepted a puck just outside the offensive zone. And as he got around one man, I believe it was Evan Bell who conceded the penalty shot. He was hacked at. That was enough to prevent him from getting a scoring chance away. And Krasnichuk pointed to center ice for the penalty shot, and Farmer was able to just sneak it through the wickets of Nick Schmidt. That stands as a game-winning goal on Farmer's 6th goal of the year and 4th in the last 3 games. So, Getting the win tonight, David Zevnik. He improves to 5-3-0. He made 26 saves on 29 shots, the most remarkable of which was the one on a great glove save on Dean Balsamo, who was down low at the goal line, just between the goal line and the circle, and he robbed them blind as he was trying to go upstairs. Good glove hand there by Zevnik. So he'll get the win and improve to 5-3-0. Getting the loss tonight, making 36 saves on 40 shots, was Nick Schmidt. He falls to 3-6-0. With the win, the Wildcats are up to 14-4-0. They have now won 6 straight, equaling their season-long win streak from last year. They are now 10-2-0 at home and 8-2-0 in the Kay Yeager Coliseum, factoring out those 2 games at the showcase, as they also improved to 11-3-0 in the division. With the loss, Rio falls to 7-9-4. They are now 6-6-4 in the North American Hockey League South Division. That'll do it for us here from the Kay Yeager Coliseum. Reminder, we're back same time, same place tomorrow night, 6:50 with the pregame. I'll have you covered here on FastHockey.com and the Wildcats Broadcast Network as the Cats look to make it 7 in a row and a clean sweep over the Rio Grande Valley Killer Bees. Until then, I'm Ben Horner saying thanks so much for joining us on this presentation of Wildcats Hockey presented by Armored Roofing. Have a good night and take care.